They say Oregon's highlight zone this year is a mirror image of last season. Halfway through the year, will it turn out to be that way? But that perception would fail to see how Oregon has arrived at this point. A new reality and personality with this team that has Oregon in the top 10 again and controlling their destiny to the BCS. Today, the Ducks return to Autzen Stadium after a week off. It's Washington State coming into the house to take on the Oregon Ducks, and it's coming up next right here on the Oregon Sports Network. This place has been awfully quiet for a couple of weeks, but not today, as Oregon fans are back in to pack this place again as the Ducks return to Autzen Stadium to face the Washington State Cougars today after that heartbreaking loss to California. But oh, look at that. Oregon is up to number 9 in the polls after that loss and a bye week, taking on the 2-4 Cougars here in Eugene. Hi, everyone. Joe Johnson along with Anthony Newman. How's that, Anthony? You don't play a game, you move up into the top 10, and now you're in charge, really, of your season and where you might go at the end of the season.
Well, you're right, Joe. That's kind of special for them to not play and have a bye, end up at the top 10. But now they have to play like a top 10 team against Washington State, who is very feisty.
And that game that they played against Cal was right there to be won. Of course, this offense, what they've done, nobody can stop Oregon from what we've seen this year except themselves, the mistakes that they have to cut down on.
You know, against any football team, if you make mistakes and beat yourself, you don't have a chance. Throwing interceptions, turning the ball over. You have to protect the football to win football games.
And certainly a guy like Cameron Colvin, who tried to reach the ball over the goal line, and how will he respond today? Certainly the entire team has responded great under Mike Bellotti after a bye week, 11 straight wins after a bye.
Well, Cameron Colvin is a player. He stepped up. Paysinger has been hurt. He's been playing. That was kind of a bad play for him, but he should shine today.
Now, one thing they'll have to talk about a lot is emotion, intensity, that desire, because when you play Washington State, hey, that's a rivalry game for both sides. Maybe Washington State thought more of it as a rivalry last year, because in that game up in Pullman, Anthony, Washington State crushed an Oregon team that was doing pretty well at that point in the season, and then they celebrated like they were going to the Rose Bowl. It was unbelievable.
Well, Bill Doba, their head coach, always gets Washington State psyched up to play Oregon because they know Oregon is a very good football team. Doesn't matter if you're playing in Pullman or in Eugene.
It was big for them that day, and you can imagine what it would mean to Alex Brink, who grew up in Eugene, to come back his first appearance at Autzen in front of his friends and family, what it would mean to him to get a win here today.
Well, I think Alex Brink may have a chip on his shoulder because Oregon didn't offer him a scholarship, but at the same time, he has all the tools in the world to be a great quarterback. I think he may have a chance to play in the NFL. Very good quarterback.
Now, normally after a loss, the entire town, the fans seem a little bit depressed and a little bit down, but when that poll came out earlier this week and saw Oregon back into the top 10, the excitement, the enthusiasm, Duck Fever returned to Eugene, and it's out in full force here today. Washington State and Oregon coming up next.
Hi, dessert fellas. We have several homemade pies. Yummy. Pecan pie, blueberry, strawberry cheesecake, my favorite. You got milkshakes. They put a scoop of French vanilla ice cream on top of that. It's not really French.
Want to get a great restaurant-style burger without the restaurant? The Patty Melt Burger. New at Carl's Jr.
LaMarcus Aldridge just hooked up the Comcast Triple Play. This is the moment it happened. He now has digital cable with on-demand and Comcast Sportsnet, the new home for Blazer games. He has high-speed internet with Power Boost for large files, and he has digital voice with unlimited nationwide calling. He is connected. Each service, just $33 a month. Have your moment. 1-800-COMCAST.
You know the cool thing about having an O for a symbol? You learn to see endless potential everywhere you go. The University of Oregon.
The University of Oregon Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you. You're already a dedicated Duck, so why join the U of O Alumni Association? Because we work solely to advance the goals of the university, such as providing scholarships for incoming freshmen, because 80% of your dues are tax deductible, because you'll have access to single-game football tickets ahead of the general public, because you get an annual coupon saving you 20% at the Duck shops, because it's the right thing to do. The U of O Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Carl's Jr., home of the new Patty Melt Burger. By AT&T, your world delivered. Pepsi, it's the cola. By Oregon Community Credit Union, nice, remarkably nice. And by Mart, Northwest grown, employee owned. Well, just a spectacular day here at Autzen Stadium as the bright lightning yellow Oregon Ducks come out onto the field here to take on Washington State in front of 58,000 here at Autzen Stadium. Just a perfect day. Hey, it's the middle of July, isn't it?
Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Great football weather.
Little chill in the air, but a perfect day. No wind to speak of, just a light little breeze blowing, and should be just a perfect day for football. And how are these two teams going to respond? The big question here today, Oregon with a week off. Washington State coming off a tough loss against Arizona State at home in his 5th season, right around 500. Fans are starting to bark a little bit over in Pullman about Bill Doba. Let's see whether or not he'll be able to get something going here at the end of the year. On the other side, how about Mike Bellotti? He has a great winning percentage at 62%, and he'll be looking for win number 101 now, as he is the dean of head coaches in the Pac-10, putting himself in rare company along with John Robinson, John McKay, Don James, and Terry Donahue, a few of the other great coaches in Pac-10 history.
Those are some great coaches right there.
Oregon will kick it off. Washington State won the toss. They will receive. Back deep for the Cougars. Jeshua Anderson. We'll also see him on offense for Oregon. Matt Evenson lined up to kick it off. And let's take a look at today's Northwest Dodge Leaders keys to the game in just a minute.
Well, protect the pigskin. You have to protect the football. No turnovers. Very important. Also, confuse the Cougars. Offense, run the ball, pass the ball. And last, solid special teams. We'll see you right here.
First kickoff goes out of bounds, and that's not the way Oregon, of course, wants to start it, by giving Washington State the ball at the 35-yard line. They may ask him to re-kick it. We'll see. I always think with the ball being kicked now from the 30-yard line, it's a better...
By the kicking team, first down from the 35-yard line.
It's usually a better option to go ahead and make him kick it off again, but they'll take it to the 35. And we'll get a message down to the official to look our way next time. Here he is, Alex Brake, the all-time leader in yards, completions, attempts, and his first game at Autzen Stadium as a college player. He played here in high school a few times. Over at Sheldon High School, a big day for young Alex Brake. Cougars will try to run it on first down. Nothing doing. Maybe a couple of yards. Tardy on the carry for 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Here's what Washington State has. Tardy, Bumpus, Charles Dillon, Jed Collins, Brandon Gibson injured, but he's out there trying to make a go out of it here today. Number 4, he's one of the best players in the Pac-10. Lusuma, Bird, Alfred, Rollins, and Hannum on the offensive line for the Cougars. 2nd down and 8. Brink's going to throw it for the first time. Rolls to the outside, has a man who gets hit immediately. And let's see where they spot it. Still haven't got up to the ball to spot it yet. They'll finally spot it right near the 45. It's going to be 3rd and about a half a yard. Nick Reed needs to get some fingers, some hands on Alex Brake. Oregon didn't touch him hardly at all last year when he went 20 of 23. There are the linebackers. And in the secondary, Oregon set with Baird, Chung, Harper, and Walter Thurman. And that was a big key. And a roughing the passer penalty on Oregon here on that last play. as Brink rolled out, so that'll be 15 more yards and a first down, and the Cougars are in Oregon territory now.
Well, I think that was on Jeremy Gibbs, number 99. Jeremy Gibbs is a very aggressive football player, but at times he gets himself in trouble. Too much excitement trying to hit somebody a little bit late. He has to be a smart football player. Use your aggressiveness out there, but be smart. You can't go out there and hit a quarterback late because it's going to hurt the football team.
His numbers coming in this year, Alex Brink, you can see he has 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Last year, as I mentioned, he was 20 of 23 in that game against Oregon and looked like Tom Brady or Joe Montana, and they didn't sack him. Little movement on the offensive line for Washington State, and that'll move it back 5 yards. But, Anthony, let's talk about that. I'm sure that they talked all week about getting to Alex Brink.
False start, number 41 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
The thing about Alex Brink is that you have to put pressure on him. He's a pocket passer, and by getting pressure on him with just your 4th-down lineman is great. But I see that Oregon may also blitz some linebackers. You can't have him standing in the pocket throwing to 3 good receivers with a lot of time.
First and 15. Crowd bringing down some noise now. Here's Brink out of the shotgun. Here comes a little pressure. Now he gets away from one, throws, and that one is going to be incomplete. He started to get a little pressure to Brink and had to scramble out.
Well, that's what I'm talking about with the pressure. Alex Brink is not a scrambler. He can't scramble and throw the football on the run. He wants to stay in the pocket. If he stays in the pocket, he's a very good passer. And right here, he's getting flushed out. Downfield coverage, nice coverage. Jeremy Gibbs, the first defensive guy there. And then Kwame right there. Great play by Patrick Chung on the deflection.
Here's a 2nd and 15 for the young man from he grew up about 1.5 miles from here. Was an Oregon fan growing up, but not offered a scholarship. This time he has plenty of time, throws it to the outside, and has a man for 6 yards on the far side. That's Charles Dillon making the catch.
Last year in this football game, Washington State hurt them with the tight ends. Keep an eye on number 41, Jed Collins. Jed Collins is coming in his role as a tight end. He's the guy that Alex Brink talks about when you interview him.
3rd down and 9. Big play here to start the game. Just a couple of minutes gone here in the first quarter. Cougars are 5th in the conference. A little delayed rush. Brink gets hit, but he has a man and the first down inside the 30. He just took a blast from Kenny Rowe, but he delivered it.
It's all about timing. It's all about timing. And Alex Brink knew he was going to take a shot, was able to get rid of the football just in time. And that's how Alex can hurt you, by standing in the pocket. If he will stand in the pocket, he will hurt you downfield.
Cougars scored on their opening drive at USC, and then that was it for the game. Time to do it here again today on the road in Eugene in front of 58,000. They'll run it to the outside. Little hole there for Tardy as he squirts through for 5. 2nd down and 5 coming up. They have not been good running the ball, Anthony. They've really had to rely a lot on Brink. 8th in the conference running the ball.
Well, Tardy's not a big running back. He's about 5'11", 200 pounds. He's not a pounder. They run that one-back offense, so there's not a whole lot of holes. I think this football team is a passing football team. They'll throw the ball 50 times during the game.
Santa Fe Springs, California. Not very tall. He can try to hide behind those big offensive linemen. Brink on the rollout. Plenty of time over the middle, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by the Ducks, and a big return is possible. Still on his feet. John Bacon all the way to the 42-yard line.
Now he brought out some of his old running back skills right there, Joe. John Bacon, you know, the middle linebacker for this football team. First year starting this year, but had a lot of playing time on special teams. But right here, he reads the quarterback. Look at the break on the ball by the middle linebacker. Comes back, makes a one-handed grab, and now watch the running skills. This is old high school. He was an old high school fullback slash tailback, you know, little cutback, protect the football, looking downfield. Look at the vision. He's looking downfield.
Yeah, most linebackers just run it out of bounds or fall over tired. He was still running it. Put that Mohawk to good use, and what a big play by the Oregon defense and the linebackers we've talked so much about. Huge play by John Bacon. And now the Ducks will have their first possession at the 42-yard line. They'll run it. Big hole to the 30. First play of the game. J.Johnson into the end zone for the touchdown.
All you can say is, wow. Wow. Take advantage of the opportunity. You turn the ball over, then you get hurt by the turnover. And look at the run. Little trap play. J.Johnson hits it right down the middle. Max Unger makes a great block on the linebacker, and off number 24 is running.
What a turn of events there. Washington State driving down the field, and then the defense makes a play, and now Oregon leads it 6-0 after one offensive play. The second time this year they've scored on their first offensive play of the game. J.Johnson finds the hole and takes it into the end zone. The Autzen crowd is loving it here with 11:38 to go.
How did we get roped into this?
Don't worry. I got enough for both of us.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
First time at the upper place.
This group, come on!
It's not easy going it alone. That's why we're making it easier than ever to get a State Farm agent for car insurance. Call an agent's office 24/7. Stop by or go to statefarm.com to get an agent who's there for you. Online, on the phone, or in the office. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, everyone. That sure put a charge in the Autzen crowd here.
Sure did.
The last time they saw Oregon run an offensive play, it was that heartbreak against Cal, and this is a little different. This puts everybody on the goods.
Well, then you see J.Johnson right here. He's going to get the football, and he's off. He's running to the left-hand side. There's going to be the great block by Max Unger, and then he goes off. Not even a block by J.Williams, just getting in the way for J.Johnson, gets it outside. Great execution by the offense.
Untouched 42 yards in one play, and now another kickoff. This one will go deep into the end zone, and a touchback. And the fans love it.
Oh.
Matt Evenson.
It's been a long time since that happened, hasn't it?
How about that? He got his leg into it. A little breeze behind him. Kicked the line drive there. And so now, this time, the Cougars will start from their own 20-yard line. A little bit of a regroup situation here for the Cougars.
Well, looking at the Cougars, their offense, they moved the football down the field. I mean, they did some nice things, throwing the football, a little bit of run. But again, Alex Brink, very good quarterback. You give him time to throw the football. He gets comfortable in the pocket. He will hurt you.
Little short drop is tipped and harmlessly falls to the turf in a very dangerous area.
Well, and Oregon was lucky on that one because there was a receiver, Bumpus, I think it was wide open on this. He's getting ready to throw the ball, and I think it was David Fayette knocked that ball down, and that's a great job for David because he's not that tall. 5'11", 6 feet.
Second down and 10 now. Cougars go with a double tight set. Looks like they might be coming off the edge here, Anthony. Hardy tries to carry it outside. He cuts it back for a couple yards and is buried under. They'll give him 2 on the play and a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Great pursuit by the defense, and me being a fellow player and kind of being somewhat of a coach my kids team, I like a lot of yellow jerseys near the ball carrier. You got to get 11 guys to the ball carrier, and right here you see the yellow jerseys running to the ball carrier. even though they had a chance to make the tackle in the backfield, they're the guy. 6, 7 guys right there on target. That's what you need.
3rd down and 8. That's just going to rush to 4. Brink over the middle. This one's caught for a 1st down and more. Out over the middle. The big tight end, Jed Collins, has the catch, and the Cougars move the chains. Almost intercepted, very similar to the play that was picked with a linebacker there.
It was, but Jed Collins is the go-to guy on 3rd down. Alex Brink and Jed Collins, they become close friends. So anytime you have a good friend that's a receiver, you're going to give him the rock. You're going to feed him.
Closed captioning for today's game has been provided by the Oregon Sports Network. 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the 37 now. Brink, little play action, throws it to the outside and drops. Ducks go after the ball like it's free, and now they say incomplete. The ball was thrown forward. Cougars had it blocked. They just couldn't get the ball out there.
Well, he was getting ready to go. Bumpus is a good runner in open field. When the ball's in his hands, you have to really watch him. But again, I think that's a long throw. It's from the far hash line to the sideline.
Little fog creeping around the stadium right now. No shadows on the field because of that. Again, another play action. They turn him in. Brink goes down the field, and it's caught. A great catch is made down at the 25-yard line. And the Cougars are threatening again. Anderson made a great catch.
That was a great catch by Anderson. I thought the ball was way over his head. Nice play action. Little boot package right here to throw the football deep out and in front of the receiver. Let the receiver go get the football. Great extension. And right here, watch the extension. Catch him with the fingertips. Look the ball in. Tuck it away. Nice job by Anderson.
Caught the back of the ball. And, well, Brink already has 80 yards. So that's what they do. They throw for a lot of yards. They're going to throw all day. Try Tardy just to keep some things honest, and he'll pick up a yard. They're a throwing team, though.
Yeah,
They're going to throw it 50 times today.
And that's why. I mean, they'll average 21, 28 points a game because they throw the football. The ball is in the air. So the Oregon secondary will be challenged today. And I think it's a good matchup with the Oregon secondary and the Washington State receivers. I think it's a pretty even matchup.
Has that feeling of being a wild one, doesn't it? Ducks have been close to making, getting a sack or turning him in, or already got the 1 interception. This time he looks to the outside, throws one up high. It's caught right down on the 3-yard line. Inbounds. Dillon makes the catch down in the corner.
Alex Brink is throwing the ball on the money. He might be energized because he's playing at home, but look at this catch. I mean, but the ball's right on the money. It's out and away from the defensive back. Walter Thurman has no chance to get this ball. It's on the other side of the receiver, so it's a great throw by Alex Brink.
Cougars 1st and goal, trying to tie it up here at the 2-yard line. He'll keep it on the rollout. Now he's looking, trying to get away. Just kind of flutters the ball out of the pocket and not across the line of scrimmage. That's going to be intentional grounding.
That's right. And there was no receiver. They're trying to point to a receiver that was close, but I don't think Anderson, who he's pointing to, was close enough.
They're still trying to talk about it.
That's why Bill Doba's yelling on the sideline.
They're way out on the field. Bill Doba's arguing it.
Intentional grounding, number 11 on the offense. Loss of down at the spot of the throw. 2nd down.
And it's a giant penalty because it's
a giant because you lose the
18-yard and the down.
And the down. And you see right here the pressure by Nick Reed. And Reed does a great job of not jumping, but just putting his hands up. And then you're looking for the receiver, and look at Nick Reed. He's happy for that one.
So that changes the dynamic just a little bit. Cougars show double tights here. Brink trying to change the play. 5 on the play clock. Straight to throw. Plenty of time. Over the middle. Intercepted! Intercepted! Jerome Boyd with the interception.
And guess who Brink was going to throw the ball to? Trying to get it to 41, Jed Collins. Jerome Boyd was all over Jed Collins on that play. Brink tried to force that football. Big mistake by an experienced quarterback.
So the Cougars move it all the way down to the 2-yard line, and they can't get it in. Ducks with their second interception of the day. We'll be back to Autzen right after this.
Oregon basketball with Ernie Kent. Oregon basketball with Bev Smith. Oregon basketball Friday Night Live. Live games and replays. Oregon Sports Network, your Emmy Award-winning home of the Oregon Ducks.
Meet the Dollar Millionaires. From vintage leather to McDonald's double cheeseburgers, these folks are all about the Washingtons. Looks like Rachel here has this season's It accessory. No wonder she rolls with such a handsome entourage.
These people live like money grows on trees. Trees they can't find.
But they have no trouble finding luxurious meals on the dollar menu. Now I buy that for $1.
Tonight's game is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Your Northwest Dodge dealers. Grab life by the horns. Pacific Source. Discover the source. And by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. Well, here we are back at Autzen Stadium, everyone. Oregon leads at 7-0. They have the ball again to run their second play of the game. 9:02 to go. I'd like to welcome all of you watching around the state of Oregon. Our flagship, KEZI 9 in Eugene, KDRV in Medford, KOHD, the brand new ABC affiliate over in Central Oregon, KDKF, Klamath Falls, Comcast in Portland, and GoDucks.com. Welcome to all of you watching on all these fine stations around the state of Oregon. We welcome you to Autzen Stadium as Oregon leads at 7-0 here in the first quarter. Dixon out of the shotgun. They'll hand the ball off to Jonathan Stewart. Stewart now tries to get the corner, and can he turn it on? Stewart across to the 25-yard line and out of bounds at the 28.
Offensive line is just blocking like crazy, Joe. Unbelievable. We'll look at that later on.
Let's try to get the starting lineups in. Ducks big play offense. Stewart, Williams, Ed Dixon's emerging, Anthony.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Big time tight end.
Colvin, of course, coming back after the game against Cal, where he also scored a touchdown.
On the offense. 10-yard penalty.
There's a holding on that play as well, as you saw Oregon's offensive line.
First down.
Maybe with all those yellow jerseys down there, we didn't see the flag.
We didn't talk about the yellow jerseys. That's some bright yellow jerseys out there. Makes them look fast.
Yeah, didn't see the flag. The flag was actually thrown at the 16-yard line. So they'll mark it back at the 6-yard line. It'll still be first down. So the way it starts is we'll be 1st and 9 now after that penalty. White's out a heck of a run by Jonathan Stewart. Dixon out of the shotgun now. And now another whistle.
False start. Number 61 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Remains first down.
So they'll move it back. Boy, it's a little math quiz. Now it's going to be 1st and 13. Washington State's defense, they have struggled mightily this year. Lance Brodus was recruited heavily by Oregon and committed once, and now is at Washington State. Andy Mattingly, the sophomore linebacker, and young, and have been really worked over in the secondary so far this season. They'll stretch this one out. Stewart looking for some room, and they'll find just a little bit across the 5 to the 7-yard line. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
That was a good little run that Stewart had to be very patient. He could have ran himself out to the sideline and ran out of bounds, but he stopped and was trying to wait for that hole to open, and nothing opened. But that's what you want for a running back, patience.
Ducks haven't thrown the ball yet. They'll try to work that edge. Against the Cougars running it. Now Dixon will throw for the first time out over the middle. J.Williams has the catch. He ducks under and dives across the 25 to the 26-yard line for the first down.
You know, J.Williams needs to really step up. He's a playmaker, no doubt about that. He has all the size and speed, 6'5", 240 pounds. He's only a junior from Inglewood, California. This guy can play. I mean, he can play at the next level if he decides to. It's all a mental thing for J.Williams.
One thing about this offense, when you start to move the chains, Anthony, that's when it gets awful tough on a defense.
Yeah.
With the pace of things. Little fake, they'll throw it to the outside. Colvin has a block, and then he falls and twists forward to the 30-yard line, and he's down. The ball came out. Colvin is slow to get up.
I don't think it's good. He twisted his ankle pretty bad on this. And watch his ankle right there.
He gets landed on.
That's not good.
Boy, what tough luck it's been for Cameron Colvin.
And he knew right away when he hurt his ankle. He knew. I don't think that's good.
We'll take a break here as they look at Cameron Colvin's ankle, and we'll be back to Watson Stadium right after this.
Nice is bigger than it looks. It's about more than manners or wide smiles or good karma. Nice is about respect, connecting, humanness, and understanding that we really are all in this thing together. At Oregon Community Credit Union, we're lucky. We get to choose how we do business, and for over 50 years, we've chosen nice. Remarkably nice.
Over 1.4 million families across the Northwest are cashing in on Buy Mart savings every day. You can too. Use your Buy Mart card to save in our stores across the Northwest. Use it to save in your community with the Added Value program. You can even use it for the chance to win free merchandise every week on Lucky Number Tuesdays. The amazing thing is, it's just $5, and that gives you a lifetime of savings and membership advantages you just can't find anywhere else. Get your passport to savings and join Buy Mart today. We're Buy Mart, the right fit for the Northwest.
Welcome back, everyone. Oregon leads at 7-0 as they continue to look at Cameron Colvin, who hurt his right ankle. Here's an injury report where it is right now. Of course, the Ducks coming in with Stewart and Strong both playing so far. The Ducks back on the ball, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. On the option, a lot of room out there for Jeremiah Johnson. Make it Stewart. Stewart, who is out there. Both Stewart and Johnson on the field at the same time. And Stewart will carry it to the 47 and get a first down.
Well, I think it was a great block by the receiver, and I think it might have been Derek Jones to the right of your screen. There's a little pitch. He's out there by himself. And look at Derek Jones. Cut the guy down, take the guy out, and gives room for Jeremiah Johnson, or Stewart, excuse me, to get some more yards. Can't tell the numbers there.
I'll take that one. That was my fault. I put it in your head. 1st and 10 for the Ducks now as they've moved it out from their 5-yard line after another interception. Dixon to throw. Plenty of time as he looks around, looking downfield. And he drops one over the top, looking for Garen Strong, but too far outside, and now gives us a chance to talk a little bit about that injury situation. Of course, Pazinger out for the year.
Yeah.
A.J. Tuatelli out probably for the regular season.
Yeah.
Now Cameron Colvin on the far side, and they'll look at him, which is just you can't believe the bad luck for Cameron Colvin. He's just had, at every step of the way, something bad has seemed to happen for him, and he's such a good guy,
He's
good disposition about him.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll be okay and he'll be able to come back. Here's Dixon now, going to run it. Dixon has some room, and he kind of huddles down near the first down, right at the 42, and it looks like he'll have the first down and move the chains. Average is 5.5. He's got 5 touchdowns on the ground, 300 for the season.
Well, that's why he's a quarterback that's so dangerous. He's another running back in the backfield. If he gets outside the pocket, look out, because he may run or throw the football deep. He has a very strong arm as well.
1st and 10 in Washington State territory now. That's Jeremiah Johnson in motion. They'll run the option. Back to Stewart again. Stewart trying to get a full head of steam. Gets a good block out there and picks up 7 yards on the play. They just went right back to it, Anthony.
Yeah. And again, another great block by a different receiver. The first time it was Derek Jones. This time it was Garen Strong, number 21. The receivers like to block, and they can block. A lot of times receivers don't want to block anybody. They just want to catch footballs and look all nice and pretty and get in the end zone and dance. But these guys are physical. And you see right here to the right, you'll see number 21, Garen Strong, making the block right in front of you. Just get in front of the receiver, defensive back.
Dixon throws a tough one to the outside. It's caught by Aaron Pflugrad, who goes up and makes a nice catch and takes it down to the 21-yard line.
It's a nice catch by the young freshman, Aaron Pflugrad. Watch him go back and get this football. Don't wait on it. Go back and get it. Concentration. That's the thing they said about him coming out of high school, excuse me. He can catch the football. You throw it near him, he will catch it. Kind of reminds me of a Mike Hass.
From Sheldon High School here in town, making a nice catch and withstanding the contact and then picking up some more yards as well. Dixon, little play action. He gets hit. He fumbles the ball and gets it back somehow. That's the old cue ball, like when you're playing pool, you got to rack it. Lucky to get it back.
Lucky to get it back. You know, that football's not round, so it will bounce funny. Bounce right back to him. He had those long arms to go back and stay under the pile, but yet bring the football back to him.
They're taking Coleman into the locker room on a trailer. That's what the ovation is for, down on that end. The fans trying to put their arms around him. They'll take him up and get him an x-ray right away. Second down and 19. Stewart will pick up a couple and pull the line up to the 27-yard line and set up a 3rd and long here.
Well, with this wide open offense that Oregon has, this is a good situation to be in, even though it's 3rd and long. Some of the plays, some of the passing plays are all long passing plays. If you give Dixon time to throw the football, it could hurt the Cougar defense.
Let's spread it out here. 5. Cougars are going to come. Now Dixon looks over to the far side. There's 5 left on the play clock here. And then now a timeout. I think it's going to be a timeout called by Washington State.
Timeout, Washington State. Their first of the half.
They didn't like what they saw. Might have been a little bit misaligned. Although I think they were coming after Dixon. They had more guys than Oregon had to block.
Well, it's smart by Bill Doba to call a timeout. If it's not set up, you don't want to go in the hole right now. 14-0 against a very powerful offense. So call the timeout, get everybody straight, understand who has who.
This has been a good drive, Anthony. It started all the way down at the 5. It withstood a holding penalty.
Yeah.
Ducks will be on the road next week against the Washington Huskies. In real time, that game's going to kick off at 4:30 in Seattle. So if you're driving up to the game to Husky Stadium, a 4:30 kick, unusual start time. And the Ducks will get a look at Jake Locker. Huskies taking on Arizona State today. We'll be interested to see what comes out of that one.
Playing up at Husky Stadium, it's always a tough deal playing up there. It's always cold, wet, right off that lake.
3rd down, 15. Ducks come and spread it out. Cougars, a lot of guys in the box right here. 7 guys right in. Now they'll spread it a little bit. Ducks seem to have some one-on-one matchups out there. Dixon can get rid of the ball. Here they come. He throws it outside, but he throws it short to Pflugrad. And I think Oregon had the right play there. They had one-on-one matchups at all 4 receiver positions.
Yeah, they did. It was a good matchup, good call. It was up to Pflugrad if he would have caught that ball to break the tackle. It's a one-on-one. Anytime you have a receiver one-on-one with the defensive back in space, and this is right here, it would have been a good pass in space with a lot of room.
Throws it right into the blitz. Had potential, Anthony.
Yeah.
Still a good drive. See if they can get something out of it. Here's Matt Evenson, 6 of 8 on the year, straight ahead from 44 yards, on its way, and it is good. That's a big kick for Matt Evenson, who caresses it over the crossbar. And Oregon leads it 10-0 here over the Cougars.
Well, that was a good drive, and to get some points out of that drive. To come out of there with nothing, I think you come out of there with some points, you give some confidence to the offense. And right here, this is a strong kick. The ball just going right down the middle. No question that was good.
That puts Oregon up 10-0, and so Evenson will have to kick off for the 3rd time today. There's this little fog that's hanging over Autzen Stadium. It was so beautiful this morning, and all the fall colors coming out. But now this fog and wind is starting to hang in over the stadium, as you saw the Carls Jr. scoring drive. Heck of a drive by Oregon on that one, Anthony. That was a, they had the fumble that Dixon got back on and got something out of it.
Well, yeah, you're right. Dixon lost that football and was lucky to get it back, but then at the same time, the offense kept their poise. They didn't pick up the first down, but they got a field goal from that nice drive that they had.
The forecast is for clear and warm. Right now, it's pretty chilly and foggy, so
it's cold.
But I do see the sun over there. I can see the hills lighted up with the sun, so we'll see whether we're in and out of that fog all day here today. So Matt Evenson will kick it off for the 3rd time with 5:19 to go. This is a much shorter kick that's going to come down right at the 10-yard line. Taken there by Dillon, who's dancing around, trying to find some room, and he'll take it to the 27, and that's where the Cougars will start for their 3rd possession, each previous possession ending in an Alex Brink interception.
Well, yeah. Really, the Ducks hasn't stopped the Cougar offense. The Cougars and Brinks have stopped them just by throwing the interceptions.
They're going to throw it 102 already through the air, but that's been the rub for Washington State fans. Hey, fine, throw for a lot of yards, but no bowl game, no winning season, 14-20 as a starter. Not a factor early in the Pac-10 is Alex Brink's legacy at Washington State, even though he has career records in yardage, completions, and attempts as well. They try to run it up over the middle, and Kevin McCall gets the carry and will pick up maybe a yard.
Well, any good football team that's playing for a Pac-10 title, going to bowl games, you have to have balance. You got to have offensive protection of throwing the football, and you have to run the football. And if Washington State struggled for years of running the football, it just hurts them overall.
Double tight set. Watch Collins, who's on the near side of the tight end spot. Here's Brink to throw. He'll drop it over to the near side. No Oregon players are over there. And a first down for McCall. And just a broken coverage by the Duck defense, and a first down for the Cougars at the 41.
Well, everybody's probably looking at Jed Collins and the receiver. No one looked at the running back coming out of the backfield. It's almost like a screen, but it's a flare pass coming out to the outside. No one out there. Picks up the first down.
Cougars make a change at the 41. That's their 7th first down of the first quarter. Still 4 minutes to go. Still looking for their first point. They'll try to run it here. And this time there is a hole for McCall, who picks up 13 yards. A little delay to the 47 into Oregon territory. Mark at the 46.
It was a good running play. McCall did a great job of being patient, looking for the hole. It wasn't to his right, it was to his left. Then he finds a little seam and explodes. It's a nice run by the young man.
First and 10, let's see if they try to establish something on the ground now with a little bit of success with McCall. They'll give it to him again. This time he dances and is hit behind the line. And he'll probably lose a yard once they unpile and mark the ball. Kwame Ajaman is there, one of the team captains. This is a chance to hear the sounds of the game, brought to you by AT&T.
Little pad popping.
AT&T is proud to bring you the sounds of the game. AT&T, your world delivered. Second down and 11. Brink out of the shotgun now. The delayed blitz coming. He's going to get hit. Keeps his feet about him, though, and then is tackled from behind. And he'll pick up 7 yards. And the Cougars have a man down back at the 41. Nick Reed makes the play, and see if we can see what happened on the injury here.
Well, Alex Brink does a nice job avoiding the sack.
There you see the injury.
Keeping his feet. Yeah, there's an injury. and then get close to a first down.
Micah Hannum is the offensive lineman down from Gig Harbor, Washington. And this one looks to be a serious injury as well, which just you hate, absolutely hate.
Yes, you do.
Part of the game.
It is part of the game, and it is interesting when the guys get hurt. The guy who's the second spot has to jump up there and take over, but you feel for the young man who's playing the game when he gets injured, because now he may be done, has to deal with rehab and all things like that. So it's a tough situation.
Hey fans, the 2000 slogan, Feel the Earth Quack. Shirts can be purchased at all Duck Store locations or online at goducks.com. All the great Duck Shop locations around the state of Oregon. Here at Autzen Stadium Duck Shop, over on campus, Valley River Center Duck Shop, Washington Square in Bend, in the Mill District down there in Bend. Overall, Anthony, this year in the conference, when you break some things down from these two guys, you know, the one thing you look at is the efficiency number. You know, Dennis Dixon first in the conference in efficiency, and seeing two of the best quarterbacks in the league here today. We saw another good one in Nate Longshore a couple of weeks ago, both with 17 touchdowns.
Well, those are two very good Pac-10 quarterbacks, and I guess you can take them and compare them to the nation. Very good quarterbacks.
Today, Brink is out to a start in yardage, but has 2 interceptions, and Dixon has managed an Oregon offense to score on their first 2 drives of the game with 2:55 to go here in the first. Might have to stay warm. We're starting to really chill off here at the stadium, getting cold. Dennis is so, you saw him sitting there, he's sometimes so quiet and introspective. 3rd and 4. Brink to throw. Plenty of time. Delivers it, and it's incomplete. I don't think he delivered a great ball that time, Anthony.
He didn't, but when the ball hits your hands, you're told as a receiver, you got to catch this football. And it looked like the ball went right through his hands. That should have been a catch. It looked like he was struggling to catch that football.
Yeah, you don't get it right in the lungs every time.
No, you catch with your hands, you catch with your fingertips, and right there, looked like he was just struggling with the catch.
4th and 4. This is prime fake territory, of course. They'll snap it back there and go ahead and punt the ball. A little dribbler that's going to roll. And it really takes a Cougar hop now that will get down to the 7-yard line. The Ducks will start deep, but the defense holds. And the offense comes out for their 3rd possession. So the Cougars with 3 tries and no points yet for this high-powered offense.
Well, that was a nice job by the defense on that 3rd down to get off the field. I think if Tardy would have caught that football, it would have been a first down.
Wind is really picking up too. It's starting to blow out of the northwest, so it would be at Oregon's back right here, kind of a crosswind over towards the press box. There you see the flag. Hopefully that'll blow this fog right out of here and folks can warm up over on the north side today. 1st and 10 for Dixon and the Ducks now. Jeremiah Johnson with the ball. This time the Cougars do a great job in pursuit, and he'll lose 3 yards. So the Ducks go back to that play, and looks like the Cougars worked on that when they've been on the sideline.
Yeah, they got the chalkboard out on the sideline. The coach was like, this is what they're trying to do. Looked like right here, Jeremiah Johnson thought something was there, but it disappears, and that happens a lot. The hole all of a sudden appears, then it will disappear.
Good offside penetration there. Aaron Flugrad's in the game on the far slot. J.Williams in the near slot. Now with a 2nd down and 12, Dixon standing back at his 1-yard line. Directs things. 2 on the play clock. 1, and they barely get it off. Pressure coming, and Dixon throws it and can't quite complete it, but avoided the safety, which was amazing.
Very, very amazing. The strength of Dennis Dixon to throw this football, getting hit. He knew he had to get rid of it.
And Flugrad had greenery if he could have caught it as well. Wow, what a play. I don't even know how he saw him there. I think he was just trying to throw the ball away. There happened to be a guy standing there.
Trying to get rid of it.
3rd and 12 now. Let's back up. leading the Pac-10 on third down conversions. Again, down deep on the play clock. 2-1, they get the play off. Here comes a little screen, and he doesn't deliver it. Again, looking for Pflugrad, incomplete. So he's gone to Pflugrad about 4 straight times, and they've not come up with anything there. Just couldn't get the ball out to him.
Well, and I think sometimes when you watch Dennis Dixon, he tries to make the pass too easy. You know, he needs to step in and throw that football with some authority. And he tries to lob the ball or place the ball. Go ahead and throw it. You got the arm. Go ahead and throw it.
Josh Cyree will have to punt now from deep. See if the Cougars try to come after this one. He's got a little wind in his back here. Nice breeze coming up with the flag right now. He's able to get the ball and get it up into that jet stream. He gets it off, gets up, the wind gets behind it, and it drives the Cougars all the way back to the 33-yard line, and Bumpus working the near side. Nowhere to go, still on his feet, and he'll go down right there at the 43. So that turned out to be a great punt by Josh Cyree. 47 yards on the net, and a 59-yard punt.
Great coverage by the punt team to get down there. There was a lot of hang time on that play to get down there and cover Bumpus with a lot of air, a lot of room to run.
I was looking up at the flag before he punted it, and there was just a gust coming out of the west. The wind, believe it or not, is really becoming a factor here, as that was a career-long punt for Josh Cyree. But I think the wind's a factor now, Anthony. We didn't think weather was going to be a factor at all, but it's really blowing. Brink will hand it off. Tardy trying to break it outside. Now some speed over on the corner and out of bounds after a loss of a couple of yards.
Well, you're trying to get outside on Patrick Chung, and that's not going to happen. The strong safety of Patrick Chung. Too good of an athlete, knowing that he has contained. At the top of your screen, you'll see Patrick Chung coming right here. Tardy tries to outrun him. Can't happen against number 15. It's too fast.
Cougars are still going to the run. They keep trying it. Got to try to keep working on us. They've run the ball 10 times for a total of 8 yards. They've thrown the ball 13 times for 123. And play action this time. Brink, this time plenty of time, but it breaks down. He fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by the Ducks. Jerome Boyd with his second turnover of the game, picking it up. And Oregon will have it at the 37-yard line.
That's a big break for the Oregon offense, for the defense to come in there and play like they did. Stop the play on first down. And right here, coverage. This is a coverage sack. And then Alex tries to take off. I think that was Jeremy Gibbs. No, it wasn't Gibbs on the strip.
There's Will Tukuafu.
Oh, Will does a nice, and yep. Will's another guy, upcoming star, who's a great defensive end. Not a big guy, but he can go. Jerome Boyd, he's all over the field right now as a linebacker.
There was a little moment where you thought Boyd was going to be able to pick it up and go.
Yeah.
And 3 first-quarter turnovers by Alex Brink here at Autzen Stadium in his return. Ducks will run it on first down, and a nice cut up the middle. Stewart now breaks it out and takes it down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, very near a first down.
I guess Washington State's going to live and die by the blitz. They're sending every linebacker almost at every play, and sooner or later that's going to hurt you. As a coach, you like to mix it up a little bit, a little blitz here, a little blitz there, but every play, you got the linebackers coming to the line of scrimmage and trying to put pressure on Dixon.
Second and just less than a yard, thrown out to the outside, and a big hole there. Look at Jeremiah Johnson, who stays on his feet inside the 20 to the 17. Boy, they just go Stewart, Johnson, Jason Williams.
Well, and when you throw the ball to Jeremiah Johnson, look at the move. Watch the quickness. Watch the footwork. I mean, just number 18 lost his shoe on that one. But that was just, he runs so well in open field. I haven't seen a guy like that in a long time. In open field, his vision, his quickness.
Johnson will take it again. This one right up the middle. Jeremiah Johnson into the end zone for the touchdown. 18 yards for his second score of the day.
That's that quick hitter with the guy who can explode when he sees daylight. Jeremiah Johnson, once he sees daylight, he's gone right down the middle. The blocking up front, Unger seals his guy off as the center. Jeremiah Johnson just hits the hole 100 miles an hour.
Ducks have turned out points after every Cougar turnover here in the first quarter, and the extra point is up and good. 17-0 with 6 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Well, that's how you capitalize on the opportunity when your defense gets the fumble. And then right here, Jeremiah Johnson, just a quick hitter. The offensive line is playing great. Mark Lewis, number 71, is playing some very good football right now. The big guard plays tackle guard, plays everything, giving some holes for the running backs.
Just showed a different gear there, didn't he, on those last 2 plays?
Explosion. I mean, this explosion. And watch right there. Right there. There's Mark Lewis sealing the guy right there. He's still sealing the guy. Jeremiah Johnson was in the end zone, and Mark Lewis was still blocking the guy on the ground.
I love that shot of the fans. Were like, okay, come on, welcome home. Come to me. And he did. 3 plays, 38 yards, 53 seconds, 18 yards for Jeremiah Johnson, his second touchdown here of the quarter. He has 58 yards on the ground on 3 carries and a couple receptions as well.
Well, that's the thing about this Oregon offense, that if Jonathan Stewart is not hurting you, Jeremiah Johnson will. You got 2 great running backs, and it's been a long time since, not a long time, but since Oregon had 2 great running backs with Ontario Smith and Maurice Morris.
That brings to memory Oregon's big game there in 2001 when Ontario set the Oregon single game record for 285 yards rushing. And Maurice Morris had 138 that day too. Lots of hitting going on. The Cougars going to have to start this time from the 19-yard line. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter. And were the Oregon Ducks ready to play football today after a 2-week layoff? And that heartbreak against Cal? Absolutely. What a quarter for the Ducks. They lead it 17-0 over Washington State. Back for the second quarter right after this.
Psst. Hey, Max, you awake?
Yeah, Cliff. What is it?
Did you see the architectural plans I was making today?
Did you see the full-size player displays I'm printing?
What about the classic car banners I'm doing?
That's nothing. Check out the details on the action photos I'm copying.
Yeah? Well, I can make 3D models of almost anything.
Will you guys power down? I'm trying to rest here.
Right Angle Digital Print and Supply. Your complete source for reprographic solutions.
We're the hottest print shop in town.
Nice is bigger than it looks. It's about more than manners or wide smiles or good karma. Nice is about respect, connecting, humanness, and understanding that we really are all in this thing together. At Oregon Community Credit Union, we're lucky. We get to choose how we do business, and for over 50 years, we've chosen nice. Remarkably nice.
And welcome back, everyone. Oregon leads at 17-0 over Washington State as we get ready to start the second quarter here at Autzen Stadium on a dry day for football. A little chilly out there, and today's game presented by U.S. Bank. 5-star service guaranteed. Thanks to the great folks at U.S. Bank for being a title sponsor here of Oregon football today. Jeremy Gibbs likes that. Maybe he does some banking there.
Well, in college, I don't think so. They're broke.
There's no banking.
You were broke in college. I know I was.
I was broke.
I didn't have a dime.
Yeah, I remember you were driving by, and Bill Mushkin and I living by. We'd scrap together some money to go down to Tracktown Pizza. That was a big deal in those days. All right, 1st and 10 here for the Cougars at the 19 for Alex Brink, who's going to throw it. A little pressure in his face, but he's got a man open and throws it too far. Ducks with a little bull rush there.
The the Cougars are going back to the tight ends, trying to hit the tight ends down the seam. And I think it was a missed coverage because he's wide open.
He was there, fishnecked.
Devin's a big target to hit, too. 6'5", 6'6".
I don't know how they put all the letters on his back. 2nd out of 10. They'll look to run it here. McCall with it, and he gets buried under, and it just doesn't look at all like they're going to be able to run the football, Anthony. They've had one play that's been positive running the football.
Well, yeah, but they're going to keep trying to run the football, and you have to try to do some kind of running game to open up the passing. But Oregon is very quick off the line. The defensive lineman's back getting penetration. Then you see the linebackers in that second level hitting those running backs.
Big third down here for the Cougars. They don't want their defense to have to go right back out there. 3rd and 9. Wind and Alex brings back. Lights are on now in Autzen. Here comes the blitz. A lot of guys are coming. He stands out and delivers it incomplete, and that one is there for the receiver to catch and not able to bring it in over there on the far side. Anderson needs to make that catch, Anthony. Now he puts his defense right back out there.
Well, yeah, that was a catch that hit the receiver's hands. That was a hard ball thrown by Alex Brink. Matter of fact, that was a very nice ball thrown by Alex. Standing in the pocket, knowing that you're about to get hit and deliver a bullet to the sideline. Should have been a first down if he would have caught the football.
Here's that low dribbler again, and it's Aaron Pflugrad back. He makes the catch, breaks one tackle, and then will go down at the 43-yard line. By grabbing it, he probably saved a good 20 yards, but it's also, you know, the risk goes up on something like that. But the young man from Shelton High School giving the Ducks good field position here at the 43 to start things out. Hey fans, if you want to go to the Civil War game, well, and you don't have tickets, here's a good way to maybe come up with a couple. Dairy Mart and Pepsi are teaming up to send you to that game on December 1st. The winner gets the tickets, parking, post-game hospitality, great Duck gear. Head to your local Dairy Mart and sign up today. Here's Dixon on first down. A little quick throw to the outside is caught by Ed Dixon, who dives forward for a first down into Washington State territory.
They're becoming a little combination, Dixon to Dixon. You know, I hear that they play a little basketball together. They like to hang out together. So now it's a little bit of combination, is looking to the tight end. Dennis Dixon will make him famous, number 83, by throwing him the rock, because he's going to catch it, number 83, Ed Dixon.
Well, Ed's really emerging, Anthony, no question about that. As a preferred receiver. He's only a sophomore. He's from Bellflower.
Yeah, only a sophomore. He's going to be a stud. He's going to be a good one.
That's him in motion right there. Dixon going to roll this time. Now they'll cut it off and look to run. He's getting behind the offensive lineman, and he'll go down on a 5-yard loss.
I think he ran into his own man, Dennis Dixon did. If his man wasn't there, he had some room to run the football, to a little scramble. Looks like it's going to be a little quick pass right here. There's nothing there. Takes off the run. It happens. Your linemen are blocking. That's Max Unger, the center, trying to block somebody.
I think he wanted to roll left, but Mattingly rushed upfield. Here come the Cougars all the way up front. It's a jailbreak. Out to Garen Strong, and just too slow developing, and they'll lose another yard. So a third long coming up.
Again, watching all those white jerseys just flow through the yellow jerseys on the blitz. There's too many guys to block. They're coming right after him. Chip Kelly has to find a good call for this blitz.
Well, they were all coming. That was like when they blew the horn at when you're out picking strawberries when you're a kid.
They were coming.
Run to the bus like that. Get out of those strawberry fields. 3rd and 14. See if the Ducks can move the chains here. They'll blitz again. They throw the screen again. Now they're looking for it to be blocked. Blue grab to the 45. It'll be 4th and 9 coming up.
Well, now they're playing field position. It's up to Cyree to get this ball pinned back, get it out of bounds on maybe the 10-yard line, 5-yard line. It's a game at field position now.
Thing is, Anthony, they know they're blitzing every down. So the play calls are, of course, you know, in the blitzes, and that's what they're doing.
Well, yeah, you're right. And I think at halftime, they're going to have to look at some adjustments. They have to look at where they're coming from on the blitzes. And I don't think they know that right now of all the spots that the Washington State, the holes or gaps they're filling on the blitzes.
The other part is that Oregon, the offensive line and the tight ends and the running backs have done a good job picking up the blitzes.
Yeah.
This one's going to come down right at the 5 and roll, and it's going to work out great for Oregon. Derek Jones grabs it right at the 3-yard line. So Alex Brink's not going to have a lot of room to work back there with 11:33 to go here in the second quarter. Oregon leads it by a score of 17-0 here at Autzen.
I promised to eat a vegetable as big as my head. As big as my head.
I promise to be more patient. I promise. I promise.
I promise to hug my wife.
American Family Insurance. We promise to treat your family like our family.
Like our family.
And help make sure you're covered.
Current.
And competitive. American Family Insurance.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Insurance.
Promise has a color. We love that color.
This busy place is Comcast's Fiber Optics Center. Our digital network starts here, bringing Comcast services to your neighborhood. In your home, 100% digital cable with on-demand makes TV better than ever. You can surf the net faster using Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. And talk all you want with Comcast Digital Voice, featuring unlimited nationwide calling. Connect to the future. Get all three for just $33 each per month for 12 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
Hey, Vinny. Oh, hey there, Miss Heaton.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of Albertson's Blue Ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Heaton.
35.
17-0 here with 11:33. Joe Johnson along with my pal Anthony Newman on what turned into a chilly, windy day here at Autzen Stadium so far. It could change back just like that.
Yeah.
If you've ever lived in Oregon, you know what I'm talking about. Comcast trivia question today. Which Pac-10 team have the Ducks most often faced in a homecoming matchup? Today is homecoming. Remember in the old days, you always picked the game you always thought you could win in homecoming. Remember that when you're in high school?
Yeah.
It was when you played the team with only 6 students, and okay, they're the homecoming team.
Homecoming.
You don't want to ruin the dance, right?
That's true. That's true. You're right.
Cougars start from the 3. They'll hand it off up the middle, and nothing doing. Second down and 10.
Well, I think that's tough in the Pac-10 to pick who you're going to beat on homecoming because there are so many good football teams in the Pac-10. You might think, oh, we'll beat Stanford. Well, look at USC.
Yeah,
I think that was their homecoming, and they got beat on the homecoming.
It's different in college, right? I mean, when you're in high school, you know the big deal. You get in the back of the convertible Mustang and run around the track with the homecoming princess. It's a little different in college. Second and 9. Brink in his own end zone, and he's hit. And is he out of the end zone or not? I think he got back across the goal line. No, they say it's a safety. A safety for the Oregon defense. It took him a while to call it, but the defense picks up a deuce.
Well, that's that defensive line, Nick Reed. Nick Reed comes off that corner so fast. Alex Brink is a strong young man. He almost got out of the grasp of Nick Reed, but Nick Reed was strong enough, and then the big Cole Linehan comes over there and says, I don't think so. He couldn't bring the ball forward. I think Linehan had his arm, so Alex Brink couldn't reach the ball forward to get out of the end zone.
It is a reviewable play, and again, in college football, every play gets reviewed by the replay officials, so it's something they can review to see whether or not he got it out of the end zone. So let's take another look at it here, Anthony, to see. I think you're right. I think the ball got stuck down by his hip.
It got stuck down by his hip. Right here, Cole Linehan grabs the football. He's holding on to the football. Alex can't get it across the line. Okay, the ball's stuck back here somewhere. He can't get across the line.
And if you're wondering about the line, it's the front of the line.
Yes.
The field and not the end zone part. So the goal line really is not the big, 6 inches of white. It's the first part of the goal line on the field. Has to get into the green of the grass or the field turf on the way out into the field. So if the ball came down on the white line, it's still a safety.
And really, he almost lost that football.
That's right.
The ball was coming out, and he had to grab the football. Then he couldn't get it forward.
Now, Bill Doba can challenge it if he's not comfortable or doesn't feel like that they looked at it long enough, but all the coaches also know that they are looking at it. Here's a look from the end zone. Maybe give a better look at the ball here, Anthony.
It's a nice job by Nick Reedy getting in there, but there's a football, and you can't see it. Too many big bodies. Those are some big bodies right there covering that little football.
So the Cougars will kick off from their 20. They punt it. It's a good punt. Flugrad takes it to the 15-yard line and heads upfield and has a little bit of room across the 35 to the 37-yard line. And that actually turned out really well for Washington State because it was a heck of a punt.
Sure was.
But great field position for Oregon after the safety, leading 19-0.
As well, that was a good run back or kickoff return back by Aaron Flugrad. And I wonder about Aaron Flugrad, the freshman in there. His dad, Robin, is his coach, the receiver coach. And then how would that be in college? That happens in high school, but it doesn't happen in college that often.
Here's Dixon on 1st and 10. Again, a little screen. Jason Williams. More blockers down the field this time. Here's Williams with a first down near the 50. Well, you know what that's like, Anthony, as a dad. I know you had a son playing today, so you know what that's like.
Oh, yeah.
I think your son's handsome enough that one of these days he's going to be the homecoming king. Your daughter's going to be the homecoming queen. In homecoming, well, how about Washington State? That's our Comcast trivia question. 16 times the Ducks have picked Washington State to be the homecoming opponent. Call 1-800-COMCAST today. 100% all digital, picture and sound. That's Johnson going in motion. They'll give it to him on the pitch. Johnson with a little burst and gets clipped, and he's down. And Johnson is down, and that didn't look good.
No, it didn't look good, and I think his leg, his ankle, is not in a good situation.
It's right in his knee. That's going to be it. That's right on the knee. And you just hear the groan from the crowd, like not another injury here today. That's just right in the knee. Colvin is out with an ankle already. They're moving it a little bit. And of course, this would be a
this will be a blow.
They're all
huge. They're all huge. But this is the blow where you got the 1-2 punch of Stewart and Johnson in the back there. And when Stewart is tired, you have Jeremiah Johnson coming in there. And right here, doesn't get that leg up. And that's the thing about this turf. You know, the turf, it's field turf. It's still turf. It's not grass. And your foot is caught in that turf and you can't get it up off the ground, your foot's going to get stuck.
There was a period there where it looked like he was going to get through that.
Yeah.
Try to turn on that burst and maybe get through it. They get him up off his feet. I always, like to look and see if they put any weight on him. It didn't look like he put any weight at all as they're carrying him off the field. And he has 2 touchdowns today, but nobody's going to really be too worried about the touchdowns after finding out about the injury. And we always look for that burst. He certainly has it.
He has the burst. And, you talk about football, you talk about a contact sport, you talk about guys running touchdowns and doing all, but yet there's injuries in the football game, and that's part of the game. But sometimes they come in waves, and right now they're coming in waves for Oregon.
Check back in with Johnson here in a second as Oregon runs a 2nd down play. Stewart with a flag down. They're going to call a holding on Garen Strong. Threw it all the way back at the 48-yard line. They may move that flag because I don't think Garen Strong was ever at the 48-yard line. That's behind the line of scrimmage. Not disputing the holding, but there's no way it happened at the the 48.
Holding, number 4 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
Looking at the Oregon receivers, they're so big and tall. They're 6'5". Garen Strong is 6'4", and they're blocking little corners. And sometimes it looks like, with their long arms, they're holding and they're grabbing on. It's just a mismatch between the little corners of Washington State and the big receivers of Oregon.
19-0, but not without a little bit of angst for this crowd as Cameron Colvin is left with an ankle injury and Jeremiah Johnson is being looked at on the far side. We'll check in with him just a second after this play here. 2nd down and 15 for the Ducks. They'll run a little option. Dixon's going to keep it, makes a move, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up.
That was a nice little fake that Dixon, that's the 3rd time they ran it, and that time Dixon said, I'll keep it this time. And the whole Cougar defense went to the pitch man.
Ducks are quick to the line of scrimmage here. They called 2 plays in a huddle. Now 1 third down quick. Here comes the blitz. Again, that little drop off. Here's J.Williams right at the first down. He jumps over a man and has more. Williams inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
When you look at this football team, there's somebody that's always emerging as a superstar. Just before he got hurt is Jeremiah Johnson. Guys getting hurt on the receiver core. Now J.Williams, the big receiver, big guy knocking people off, hard to bring down. Now he's starting to shine a little bit. That's the type of attitude you want the receiver to say. Give me the football.
Yeah. 56 yards so far for Jeremiah Johnson. They'll hand the ball off to Stewart. Stewart over to the corner, and he'll pick up maybe 3 yards, and he's right over there by his friend Jeremiah Johnson, and they're looking at his knee. Going to put some wrap around, and I'm wondering whether or not there's it's possible that it's a muscle, that attachment on the muscle rather than, the inside type ligament things, or they just want to make sure that they don't move it. They got the ice on there. Gonna put the ice there.
It might not be as bad as you think, looking at that.
Never know.
But you just don't know with their knees.
Dixon, plenty of time, throws it to the outside, and Garen Strong just couldn't get turned around in time. Second down turns into 3rd and 7.
Well, Garen Strong should have turned around quick, and right here, you're the receiver. You got to catch the football. Missed opportunity right there.
We do know that Colvin is out for the game. They've taken him away, and we have a report that he's out for the game, which was pretty evident by how the injury looked. Ducks now with 217 total yards, 8:51, leading it 19-0. Second quarter. Blitz coming again to the outside. Derek Jones makes a nice catch for the first down. I mean, that ball was on him as soon as he turned.
That was a great throw. When I talk about a timing route, you see Jeremiah Johnson going to the x-ray room. But Derek Jones, he's another guy that has all the potential to be a great receiver. And I think you got to feed him the football, let him use his speed and his ability to give those defensive backs some fits.
Ducks are quick on the ball again. Another blitz coming. They can run that same play. This time Derek Jones gets blasted. The defensive backs are being blocked. It's the flow back from the linemen on the blitz that are making every play on that.
Well, what's happening, looks like the linemen, the defensive linemen are not blitzing as hard. And there goes Jeremiah Johnson telling everybody he's going to be okay. I think he's in good spirits. I really do. I think this might just go back, take a look at it, get some ice on it. We got a long season to play. That's what he's telling everyone.
Second down and long. Here come the Cougars again. Dixon's going to roll this time, and he might be able to think about running it. Now he's going back the other way. He might need a block. Oh, my goodness. Dixon's running around a schoolyard, running away from all the little girls on the schoolyard.
Oh, Dixon, right there, you want Dixon just to run to the sideline. I mean, I don't think there's a linebacker who can run with Dennis Dixon. And he had a shot to get to the sideline. Go to the sideline. He's trying to make something happen. Nice little scramble. And you see right there, go to the sideline. Just go to it.
Back when you're in 3rd grade, remember, you didn't want any girl that ever touches you running away from them. 3rd down and 10 here for Dixon. This time they're not blitzing. He'll stand back there and look for a receiver. Now he's going to run it. Now he drops it off to Stewart, who's near the end zone. They'll mark him down at the 1. And Dixon got it off just before he got to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, talk about the game of inches. That was close right there, and that's how Dixon can hurt you, because you think you're going to run, so you come off coverage as a defensive back, you come to the field, and all of a sudden, no, he throws the football.
It's just schoolyard stuff, Anthony.
Yeah.
How about that? The Cougars have blitzed on about 15 consecutive plays, and then that time they decided not to. Ducks are lined up, and I think Washington State's going to use a timeout to get set defensively. They are going to use it. 7:21 to go here in the second quarter, and they'll use that timeout. And it will give us a chance to take a quick timeout here as well. We'll be back with the Ducks on the 1-yard line with 7:21 to go here in the second quarter.
Hey, taxi.
More bars,
news in more places. That's what you can expect from the new AT&T, the largest digital voice and data network in America, and more global coverage than any U.S. carrier. So switch to the network you can trust. AT&T, your world delivered.
Brad? Yeah, someone scratched your name on my car. I'm covered, right?
Okay, sir, what was the name?
It says Brad.
Well, the low-rate policy you've selected only covers full names, not nicknames.
Bradley would have been acceptable.
Or Bradford.
Or even Brady.
That's dumb.
That's Brad with a Y at the end.
If you could save on car insurance without cutting your coverage, why wouldn't you? Call State Farm and see why it pays to shop the leader first. Get a quote and start saving today.
Have a super day, Brad. Go ahead, explore life. You're covered. Because whatever you do, wherever you go, Pacific Source Health Plans is with you. It's just that simple, and it's just that local. The way healthcare should be. As part of your local healthcare network, we're committed to helping you get the care you need. Give us a call to find out how we can work together for your good health. Pacific Source Health Plans. Discover the source. On the web at pacificsource.com.
Welcome back, everyone. 19-0. The Ducks are on the 1-yard line with 7:21 to go in the second quarter. First and goal, Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. Quickly just trying to power it, Anthony. Out of the shotgun goes D.Dixon. They'll run everybody up the middle. Here's Stewart. He gets hammered right at the goal line. What a collision as he takes it to the 6-inch line.
That's the first time I've seen Stewart take a shot like that. And that was a shot, but I guarantee you Stewart saying, do it again.
He's right back on it, too. AT&T sound of the game. Dixon on the sneak. Does he get across? No signal yet. It looked like he might be laying over the line right now. Touchdown, Dennis Dixon gets the payoff. Set up by a couple of big plays by Derek Jones and J.Williams, Jonathan Stewart. And Oregon leads it 25-0.
Big offensive line. Just duck your head and get in there. You have a yard to go. He just laying forward, just laying down and lay forward. You should get over the end zone.
Matt Evenson on to kick the extra point. Brady Leaf in the hole here for Oregon. Kick is down, it's up, it's good. 26-0 now with 6:52 to go here in the first half. And boy, you could, I think leading up to this game, Anthony, all week long, you could feel no matter who Oregon was going to play today, you know, losing a game like they did 2 weeks ago, that it was a little bit like a Mount St. Helens. I mean, you're going to blow, you know, it's that whole thing was all that pressure, all that energy of the week built up, and now here they are, 25-26 now to nothing.
Well, it's like a tiger in the cage, and you're dangling the rabbit, and the tiger can't get out. Finally, you open that cage, and there it goes. So, you know, Oregon's been waiting to play, and, you know, they had a great week of practice, a couple weeks of practice. Right now, I think the only concern is the injuries.
Carl's Jr. scoring drive, 12 plays, 63 yards, 3:52 to go here in the on that Carl's Jr. scoring drive. And here's a look at Dixon the last 2 years just to compare where he was. And, you know, he started out great last year, too.
Yes,
it was just the end of the season where he fell off. But yards per play are way up. Percentage is way up. Decision-making is way up.
Yeah, that's being a smarter football player. That's experience. That's all that is. He understands the situation. He's been in that situation, and guys get better with playing time. It's the bottom line.
Matt Evenson to kick it off here again. 26-0. Remember, Oregon will get the ball to start the second half. Evenson will send a line drive, and it's going to come down right there. 10-yard line. Anderson on the far side, still going, and he'll take it out of bounds at the 27. So he ran 60 yards for 17.
18 yards on the return.
Hey, fans, don't miss Oregon soccer next Friday. Arizona State will be at Pape Field as Oregon soccer off to a good start this year. They're down south with a big game today against UCLA. They suffered kind of a heartbreaker against USC yesterday. Soccer, Friday, October 19th, 7 p.m. under the lights. Here's Brick now. He sets out, and he's going to take one deep. Ducks trying to get out in front to make the interception, some contact, but no flag is down.
Well, yeah, that Washington State coaches are yelling at the official. That was close to pass interference. I mean, Alex Brink, he sits back and throws this ball a mile, but Jarvis Bird almost climbs the back. It's pretty close. Got to be careful with that.
There's a buzz in the stadium about what Oregon has done so far, but there's also that part where you're thinking about Cameron Colvin and Jeremiah Johnson. You know, you can't just like not think about that.
Right.
Hoping for the best for both of those two, both with leg injuries, as Tardy carries for 9 yards. We know Colvin's out for the game. Jeremiah Johnson being looked at right now. And this is when other guys, you know, guys like Andre Crenshaw.
Yeah.
You know, some of the other guys have to step up a little bit.
And Andre Crenshaw, the third-string running back for the Ducks, is a very good young running back. So he's had a lot of playing time.
3rd and a yard. See if they try to run it here on 3rd and a yard. They'll hand it off and looking for some room. I don't know that he got there.
I don't think he's a yard short. He's a yard short.
At least a yard short, and lucky didn't lose 3 yards on it. 4th down.
They got to punt this ball. If they don't punt this ball, they'll be silly. This is field position. You can't give Oregon good field position when you're down 26-0.
Dwight Tardy has 8 carries for 15 yards. One of those is a 9-yarder. So a quick 3 and out for the Cougars, and Oregon's going to get the ball again. If they decide to go ahead and punt it. Blue Grad standing at his 23-yard line. Reed Forrest, a little runner, and hits the ground, and Blue Grad picks it up. Start at the 20.
Yep.
Tough one to handle. Blue Grad does it. We'll take a quick break here with 5:08 to go in the first half.
Psst. Hey, Max, you awake?
Yeah, Cliff. What is it?
Did you see the architectural plans I was making today?
Did you see the full-size player displays I'm printing?
What about the classic car banners I'm doing?
That's nothing. Check out the details on the action photos I'm copying.
Yeah, well, I can make 3D models of almost anything.
Will you guys power down? I'm trying to rest here.
Right Angle Digital Print and Supply, your complete source for reprographic solutions.
We're the hottest print shop in town.
The University of Oregon Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you. You're already a dedicated Duck, so why join the U of O Alumni Association? Because we work solely to advance the goals of the university, such as providing scholarships for incoming freshmen, because 80% of your dues are tax deductible, because you'll have access to single-game football tickets ahead of the general public, because you get an annual coupon saving you 20% at the Duck shops, because it's the right thing to do. The U of O Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you.
Well, believe it or not, the Oregon basketball team is practicing. Games are coming up. The Pape Jam is right around the corner. The Oregon men take on Utah. The women take on Santa Barbara at the Rose Garden on December 8th. Tickets go on sale on Monday, 10 a.m. at the Rose Quarter box office, at Safeway locations, by phone or online at rosequarter.com or comcastix.com. Best way to do it is make that call right there. Go to the Rose Garden box office or any Safeway location as well. And we'll see you at the Pape Jam coming up on December 8th. Interesting day once again in college football. We'll talk about it in just a second as Dixon throws it to the outside. And a tough catch is made there, but not for much by Malachi Lewis. The point that I was talking about, Anthony, is that in the second quarter deep, Arizona and USC are tied at 10.
Oh.
Arizona had an interception that looked like they were returning it for a touchdown. They fumbled it. And then USC got the ball back. So it's a wild one in Los Angeles. I'm sure people are wondering what the heck is going on with the Trojans as they are tied with Arizona. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Well, that's why they say you have to play the football game, because you never know what's going to happen in football games. And as you can see, Oregon's out to a 26-0 lead, but that could always change at any time.
Well, that Stanford win over USC. It's still hard to believe that Stanford beat the Trojans, but they did. Here comes the blitz. Dixon over the middle, has Dixon. And he has the first down, and he dives forward. He fumbled the ball, though. The Cougars picked it up. They're saying he's down.
Yeah.
They're saying the ball came out after it hit the ground.
Well, this is the third down guy that Dixon wants to throw to, is the other Dixon. He's going to get the first down. Yes, he was down. Good call by the official.
So the Ducks move the chains on that 3rd and 7. 4:06 to go. Remember, they do get the ball in the second half. Cougar fans don't like the call. Looks pretty clear. They'll hand it off to Stewart. Cuts it back and falls forward for maybe 3 yards. You look at the upcoming schedule for Oregon, Anthony, with at Washington, home against USC, home against Arizona State, at Arizona, at UCLA, a team struggling, and then the Civil War here. Boy, their destiny is in their hands.
Well, it
ECS.
is. And the schedule's not an easy one. I mean, you have Washington at Husky Land, and then the USC and A-State, Arizona State. It's a tough schedule.
2nd down and 7. They'll hand the ball off to Crenshaw. He tries to dance around, but he just gets buried, and he'll lose 3 yards. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Well, there's that youth that shows in Andre Crenshaw that if there's nothing there, just get up north and south. You don't want to run east and west. You're not going to get any yards running east and west. There was a small little seam. Go ahead and try to take it and take what you can get.
Ducks also have Remine Alston available if they want to go there. He would be number 5 if you happen to see him out on the field. Here's a 3rd and 10 for Dixon. Ed Dixon's the tight end on the far side here. He'll drop short again. Dixon now trying to get away. Still looking to run the ball. Now he gets outside. Will he get there? He does somehow pick up the first down. What a play by Dennis Dixon.
Wow.
You just feel like he can move the chains whenever he wants.
I guess so, but right here, they send another blitz trying to get inside. They think they have him from behind. Then looking at Dennis Dixon, a guy that's a quarterback that has great vision as a running back. He can find that seam, find that hole, was able to pick up the first down.
2:34. Ducks are quick to the ball again. Little screen setup. Jason Williams, this time there's not a lot of blocking, but Williams with a stiff arm. Williams down the sideline. Williams to the 20. 10. Jason Williams. What a touchdown by Jason Williams.
Talk about the speed of Jason Williams, and he doesn't look like he's running that fast, yet he outruns the angles. And right here, the stiff arm. That's Jeremiah Johnson's move right there. He said, hey, Jeremiah Johnson, this is for you. I'll give you a little stiff arm. Then to keep inbounds, stay near the sideline, and outrun the angles that the defensive backs had coming from the other side.
What a play by Jason Williams. 33-0. That's a highlighter. That's a keeper for Jason Williams because it had everything.
It did.
It had power, it had speed, it had balance.
Well, and look at the balance, trying to stay in bounds. And then the speed right here. This is the speed. He outruns 2 guys and beats the angle.
Ducks are having a heck of a quarter, 165 yards. Here in the second quarter alone, Washington State has 7 yards, and I'm sure Coach Bellotti is going to be happy about that. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk about the BCS situation that, who knows, may or may not include something like the Orange Bowl. Scores, highlights, stats. Our AT&T halftime report coming up. AT&T is the official wireless provider of Oregon Athletics.
You know, when you're talking about this Oregon football team and what they're doing in the first quarter, guys like Jason Williams are stepping up because you got Paysinger, who's hurt, Cameron Colvin, the receiver's hurt, and now you got guys like Jason Williams. Now, he makes this play by himself. First, the stiff arm. Okay, just to get off me, I'm not done running yet. And then control his body to get down the sideline. Look at the stride. I mean, that's like a sprinter stride. Just has the speed to get down, outrun the angle, and score a touchdown.
33-0 Oregon leads it. Matt Evenson will kick it off. This time it'll be Bumpus taking it at the 5-yard line. I'm sorry, make it Dillon. Dillon tumbles over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Carl's Jr. $6 burger scoring drive, 7 plays, 80 yards, 246. 52-yard touchdown catch for J.Williams.
Talking about these guys stepping up like a J.Williams and Jonathan Stewart, but you still got to feel for the key guys who are hurt today, which is Jeremiah Johnson and Cameron Colvin, because you need those guys at the end of the run, at the end of the season.
Brink to throw here. It started off poorly for Brink, as that one is incomplete, with 3 first-quarter turnovers, which all led to Oregon points, and from that point on, it's just been all Ducks, 33-0.
I'm surprised that Washington State right here is not doing a hurry-up offense. I mean, they got 2 minutes to go. Oregon is going to get the ball in the second half. Got to get something on the board. You got to generate your offense somehow.
Yeah, if you throw 3 and out here, you're looking at giving Oregon the ball back. Here's Brink to scramble, throws it, almost intercepted. Boy, I think Jarvis Bird came up with it. He was just out of bounds.
Out of bounds, yeah. And then we talked about Alex Brink. He's not a scrambler. He's hard. He doesn't have a very. He has a strong arm, but the balance, the athletic ability to throw on the run, that's not his forte. His forte is to stand in that pocket, throw the football. Give him some time. Right now, he's getting flushed out of the pocket.
3rd down and 10. Here comes the rush again. Little screen set up. Flag is down. Flag is down. No play.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 67 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
They'll move it back a little bit. Boy, this is what a tough quarter. Well, the first quarter they moved the ball, turned it over 3 times.
Yeah.
Second quarter they just can't move it.
They can't move it, and it's kind of 2 different football teams that moved the football the first quarter, and now they're struggling to find something that works. Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator for Oregon, is doing a great job of play calling the right calls for the right offensive play.
3rd down, 15. Still 2 minutes left. Here comes the blitz. Brink going deep down the field, and it is incomplete. And the Cougars are going to have to give it right back to Oregon with 1:58 left on the clock. So plenty of time to try to get more if you're the Ducks.
Well, there's a lot of time. 1:58 with the Oregon offense. I mean, they score very quickly, and they have the weapons to score quickly. So Washington State, you know, there's a point, either move the football down the field, hurry up offense, or they go ahead and just slow it down. You know, huddle up and take a long time.
Reed Forrest to punt. Again, he's got that running punt, tough to field. It's going to hit the ground. Usually going to pop up. Pflugrad somehow corrals it like he's a shortstop.
That's scary.
You stay down on the ball, he can jump up, hit you right in the face, and
yes,
boy, some of those you might want to just get away from too.
But yet he's not letting the ball roll all the way down to the the 10-yard line. But it's still at the same time, that ball can hit you very quickly on the pads and bounce the other direction.
Ducks right back at it. Now with 1:50 to go, Ducks have all of their timeouts left here, and Dixon on the ball. A quick throw to the outside, and it's incomplete, and Dixon not able to bring that one in. How about this one, Anthony? Washington State with no passing yards this quarter.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
I mean, if your best weapon is passing and you have 0, I mean, even I can figure that out.
Well, Alex Brink was very hot in that first quarter, and then he just cooled down.
2nd down and 10. Cougars are just going to get tired from blitzing so much. Dixon over the middle. Here's that Dixon. Breaks the tackle, still on his feet. Dixon with a piggyback down to the 23-yard line.
The big man jumps over somebody. Talk about athletic skills right here. Break the tackle. Watch the little hop right there. And then the speed of the big man to break the tackle. The power. Nice catch, nice run.
Well, that's the kind of thing that makes the coach say that we got to give him the ball more.
Yeah.
And they are. They're getting him the ball a lot. The Cougars going to use a timeout to try to regroup. Another timeout, and the fans at Autzen just, you know, it just seems almost like a playground type deal, Anthony. Just, I mean, in the first half, Oregon has 367 yards in the first half.
Well, you know, looking at Oregon's offense, everything is right. Everything is going right. Dixon looking for Dixon. And this guy, again, when he catches the football, yards after catch. And the guys, look right there, they're scared to hit him. I mean, you ain't going to go hit the guy or not hit the guy. You know, go tackle a guy, chest up, grab him. But at the same time, Dixon's using that power and that speed. He's getting down the field. He's going to be a weapon. Only a sophomore. And that's another guy that we talk about, Dixon. Ed Dixon, he's stepping up. Cameron Colvin out, hurt. You have to have people step up in the ball game, and he's doing that.
Dennis, 16 of 22, 236. He's got a touchdown and also one on the ground on that quarterback sneak. 70 yards for Ed Dixon. 1st and 10 for Oregon at the 24, between the 23 and the 24. Marking 23.
Joe, here comes your son.
Sun's coming out. Might be a nice afternoon for the rest of the day. Here's a little jailbreak again. Derek Jones this time as he has a first down to the 12-yard line. At some point, if you're Washington State, you might want to talk about just playing defense, and the Cougars have a man down. I say doing that, but it's so predictable. When you blitz every single down, you just know it's coming.
You got to somehow slow him down, and watch the speed, watch the acceleration of Derek Jones right there. Almost was fast enough to get away, but that's speed on a football field.
Cougars have a man slow to come off the field.
Very physical game today. A lot of injuries.
Might be Xavier Hicks.
Yeah, it is.
The injured player. He'll come off. First down for Oregon at the 12. 1:30 to go in the half. It has been all Oregon here today. Dixon throws it to the outside. Stewart ushered out of bounds right at the 10.
It's a great job by the defense, Washington State defense, in reading that play.
That one's right down there in front of the microphone. Let's listen. A little crackle. Brought to you by AT&T. Second down from the 10. Second down and 8. 126. About half the crowd's already gone out for the halftime festivities. People just kind of sitting and watching. You don't feel that same sort of anticipation. To the end zone, and it's caught, and a signal for the touchdown. A great catch made by Derek Jones in the end zone. 39-0 in the second quarter.
A great catch by Derek Jones. I don't think the officials even saw that he caught the football. His hand's underneath the ball. That's a catch.
That's a great
His hand is underneath the ball. That is a great catch. If they challenge this, it's okay, because that's going to be a touchdown.
Matt Evenson on for the extra point. And now the whistle comes to take a look at it again, which we'll go through it. The ruling on the field, of course, is the touchdown, so it has to be conclusive, and they'll want to take a look at it. But my, oh my, what a catch by Derek Jones.
The key to this is his hand is underneath the football. You might not see it from this angle. It's a great diving catch. You can't really see it right there, but his hand was underneath the football when he caught this ball. You'll see it from this angle.
This ball was thrown so hard and also through a defender's hands.
Right there.
And he still made it.
Yep.
Anyway, Anthony, that gets overturned.
No.
Never say never, right? But that one doesn't look like it's gonna.
No, that one doesn't look like it. See it very quickly. They're done. They just reviewed it.
It's called.
Big smile. Derek Jones says, hey, it's rolling right now. And it is at Autzen. 39-0. And Matt Evenson on for the extra point. And that kick is up and is through, and it's 40-0. We talked about it last week. Some of the Oregon players even said, we're not even sure who we're playing next, but I feel sorry for them. 40 to nothing. Oregon has been all over. They have 390 yards of offense in the first half.
Wow. I keep saying wow, but there's nothing else to say but wow. I mean, this football team is doing some work, and you know that the Duck mascot is out there doing all those push-ups. He's going to be wore out the first half.
He's got a tough day. You got to figure that out. I mean, they went from, 7 to 10 to 17 to 19, plus 26, plus 33, plus 40.
So,
lots of pluses.
There's lots of pluses.
1:20 still to go here.
Well, and we just talked about that before. There was a lot of time at 1:99 or 1:59. There was a lot of time left for them to score, and they scored very quickly.
Cougars are in a little bit of a tough spot here because they're going to, if they want to run it, Oregon still has 3 timeouts if they want to use them, Anthony, which at this point at 40 to nothing, it'd be the greatest comeback ever if Cougars could win it. There you see the standings. Washington State, Oregon on their way today. UCLA with 3 Pac-10 wins, but they've looked terrible in the other games they've played. This ball will be tackled down at the 20-yard line. Dillon on the return. 1:14 to go. And again, if they want to run it and Oregon wants to use their timeouts to get the ball back, they've done a good job stopping the run today.
Well, they have. And Washington State, they have to realize, and they know this, that they don't get the ball in the second half.
Little sideline look for you in case you haven't been able to get that field pass ever. Stand there and see what it looks like.
T.J. Ward gets the tackle on there. Plays the special teams.
Cougars will run it. Nick Reed there for the stop. Let's see if Oregon wants to use the timeout. They've got 3 left. They'll go ahead and let the clock run here, which...
The sideline, if you're on the sideline watching this football, the one thing that you won't see right here, Hardy's leg got bent around a little bit. That was a little scary, that ankle, is the speed with the big guys, the linemen. That's what I first realized the game was much faster in high school, watching the linemen go so quick when I came to a college football game, an Oregon football game.
Brink's going to throw, looking, he delivers it behind his receiver, and that'll stop the clock with 35. And Anthony, there's lots of things to work on, of course. You got a kicker that, always use a little work if you get the ball back.
Well, and I think also Oregon knows that they're getting the ball back in the second half, so we might as well just take the 40 points and go into the locker room, make some adjustments, whatever you have to make. Apparently they made some adjustments the second quarter.
Yeah.
So make some more adjustments and come out and play, don't stall in the third quarter, but play with the same intensity.
3rd and 9 for Brink. Still looking for some passing yards here in the first half, and they'll run the draw play. Nothing there. Ducks again choosing not to use the timeout here.
Well, I think Washington State right here is going to let this clock run out going to halftime, and themselves have to try to figure out what they need to do to come back from down 40 points.
Well, that's about as good a first half of football you're going to see a complete team play. Cougars without a single passing yard in the second quarter. Ducks with 3 turnovers in the first quarter. And they pretty much scored every possession except for 1. Can't do it any better than that. We are at halftime. 40 to nothing. Oregon leads it over Washington State.
Taco salad is back at Carl's Jr. because you can't have burgers all the time.
It's amazing how much we all rely on our home electronics. At Bimart, we get that. Our photo electronics department has the essentials you'll need at prices you'll appreciate. Catch life as it happens with the latest digital cameras. Enjoy your favorite flicks in high definition. Keep your printer happy with new ink cartridges. Stay in touch safely with the newest gadgets for your cell phone. And enjoy shopping at a store where you can still get answers and help from people who go the extra mile for you. We're Bi-Mart, the right fit for the Northwest.
Oregon basketball with Ernie Kent. Oregon basketball with Bev Smith. Oregon basketball Friday Night Live. Live games and replays. Oregon Sports Network, your Emmy Award-winning home of the Oregon Ducks.
Meet the Dollar Millionaires. From vintage leather to McDonald's double cheeseburgers, these folks are all about the Washingtons. Looks like Rachel here has this season's it accessory. No wonder she rolls with such a handsome entourage.
These people live like money grows on trees. Trees they can't find.
But they have no trouble finding luxurious meals on the dollar menu. Now I'd buy that for $1.
Nice is bigger than it looks. It's about more than manners or wide smiles or good karma. Nice is about respect, connecting, humanness, and understanding that we really are all in this thing together. At Oregon Community Credit Union, we're lucky. We get to choose how we do business, and for over 50 years, we've chosen nice. Remarkably nice.
Welcome back, everyone. Our great crew down there in the truck didn't inadvertently hit a 4. It's 40-0. If you're just joining us, that's really the score here at halftime as Oregon has overwhelmed Washington State, and no question they were ready to get after it today. And when I talk about overwhelm, offense, defense, special teams, it's been a complete Oregon performance here in the first half. Here's Coach Bellotti.
No question. We've played pretty well, and obviously we're pretty motivated to play. It's been a very good half, but there's a whole other half of football. A lot of things can happen. We just have to make sure that we're playing hard all the way.
And I got to ask you about Cameron Colvin and Jeremiah Johnson. Tough to lose those guys.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that they're serious injuries that may cost that may be out for the year. So that's another thing I talked to my team about. But we'll try to make sure we keep this thing going for them.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to ask the coach a question, just generally have a good time, come down to Tailgate Tuesdays at the Cooler. Jonas Kungi's my good friend down there running the Cooler, and Phil and all the great guys down at the Cooler. It's a great place to be on Tuesday night. The Coolers, Oregon Tailgate Tuesday, 7 to 8 o'clock. Jerry and Jorgie down there as well. There's all kinds of food and drink specials, tickets, giveaways, all kinds of fun down there, right down the street here from Autzen Stadium. The Coolers, Oregon Tailgate Tuesday. We're back with more after this.
This busy place is Comcast's Fiber Optics Center. Our digital network starts here, bringing Comcast services to your neighborhood. In your home, 100% digital cable with on-demand makes TV better than ever. You can surf the net faster using Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. And talk all you want with Comcast Digital Voice, featuring unlimited nationwide calling. Connect to the future. Get all three for just $33 each per month for 12 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
Hey, Vinny.
Oh, hi there, Miss Heaton.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of Albertson's Blue Ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Heaton.
35.
And welcome back, everyone, to Autzen Stadium. Oregon leads it 40-0, just unloading on Washington State. Oregon making a statement around the country today here against Washington State at halftime. Joe Johnsante along with Anthony Newman. And Anthony, that is a statement. Everybody has talked about where should Oregon be ranked, what is out there for them. Tough loss against Cal, but I think we've seen exactly what kind of football team this is here today.
Well, the country has Oregon ranked in the top 10, but right now Oregon's showing that they're a top 10 team. They're playing very good football, offense and defense.
There are all kinds of things out there for Oregon as it relates to the BCS. If you're at home, you have to either root for Cal to win all their games or lose 2, because the losing 1 is what hurts Oregon. But Anthony, where Oregon is right now, they really control their own BCS fate. And if Oregon doesn't go to the Rose Bowl, if Cal will go to the national championship game, the Ducks might have a chance to go to the Rose Bowl if they can win their games. But also the Fiesta Bowl and even the Orange Bowl is a possibility. And remember, the Orange Bowl had USC out a couple years ago, and that worked out well. And the Orange Bowl representatives are here today.
Well, you know, it's funny. We talk about all that stuff, but Coach Bellatti's telling their kids that there's one game at a time, and they control their own destiny. So if they keep winning out, then good things will happen to them.
That's right. They're doing their part. As we take a look at today's halftime highlights, brought to you by Oregon Community Credit Union. This was a heck of a first half as we look at these highlights. I mean, it started out with a couple of turnovers, and then Jeremiah on the first play.
Well, Jeremiah right now, he's a big loss if he's out for the year, out for the game. But watch the explosion that Jeremiah has. And also, we got to talk about the offensive line, creating holes for the running backs to get through.
Jeremiah, again, will check on his injury. Coach thought it was a very serious injury. We'll try to learn a little bit more. Defense picked up a couple of points. Cole Linehan right there making a tackle, picking up a safety. And then they get the ball back. March right down the field. Dennis Dixon sneaks it into the end zone. And then the route is on.
Well, the route is on, and you got J.Williams who's finally stepping up. He's a big-time player with all the skills. Right here, you see the speed, the power, the explosion. And number 4, got to keep feeding him the rock.
Our first half highlights brought to you by our great friends, including my neighbor, Russell, from Oregon Community Credit Union. Nice, remarkably nice for Oregon Community Credit Union and the Oregon Ducks here in the first half. So where does it go from here, Anthony? You just try to run the ball, play hard, like Coach Bellotti talked about, and get out of here and start thinking about Washington.
You got to keep doing the same thing you did the first quarter and the second quarter. You can't give up, because Washington State right now, they're looking at adjustments, making adjustments in the locker room. They're going to come out a different football team.
Fans will have a chance to also look at some scores around the country and see how it affects Oregon today. They're safely in command here today at halftime. We'll look at those when we return.
Damon connects. It's in the gap. The center fielder bobbles it. They're waving Damon home. The throw to Bauer, and Damon is...
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, Joe, is that your girlfriend up there talking to that guy?
Can't move my head. What's he look like?
It's nothing. No, don't sweat it.
Yeah, a tree fell on my car. I'm covered, right?
Was it a ficus?
I don't know. Who cares?
Well, the low-rate plan you chose does not include tree-related incidents, except for the ficus.
You're joking, right?
No.
If you could save on car insurance without cutting your coverage, why wouldn't you? Call State Farm and see why it pays to shop the leader first. Get a quote and start saving today.
That's no ficus.
Hey, Max, you awake?
Yeah, Cliff. What is it?
Did you see the architectural plans I was making today?
Did you see the full-size player displays I'm printing?
What about the classic car banners I'm doing?
That's nothing. Check out the details on the action photos I'm copying.
Yeah, well, I can make 3D models of almost anything.
Will you guys power down? I'm trying to rest here.
Right Angle Digital Print and Supply. Your complete source for reprographic solutions.
We're the hottest print shop in town.
The University of Oregon Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you. You're already a dedicated Duck, so why join the U of O Alumni Association? Because we work solely to advance the goals of the university, such as providing scholarships for incoming freshmen, because 80% of your dues are tax deductible, because you'll have access to single-game football tickets ahead of the general public, because you get an annual coupon saving you 20% at the Duck shops, because it's the right thing to do. The U of O Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you.
Welcome back, everyone, as the sun emerges here at Autzen. A beautiful, beautiful fall day as the trees are just bursting out. And the Oregon offense certainly burst out 40-0 here in the first half. Let's take a look at some of our scores around the country, presented by Bimart. Northwest grown, employee-owned, your Northwest membership discount store. Ohio State easily, South Florida.
South Florida, wow.
Yeah, trying to make a statement.
Football team.
LSU and Kentucky are embroiled in a good one here in the at halftime, 17-14. That's a big one to watch as well. Penn State over Wisconsin, South Carolina on top of North Carolina. Georgia Tech with a big victory. And when you look also, Anthony, there was another big game up in Beaverton today, too. What was the final score there in Beaverton?
14-6, Clackamas Eagles.
The Clackamas Eagles.
We're 5-1.
Led by Little Q. Do they call him Little Q?
No, they call him AJ, yeah.
AJ Newman. USC and Arizona 10-10. Stanford and TCU underway. Oregon State against Cal later, and Washington at Arizona State. UCLA will take a break after a couple of tough ones that they've had against Utah and Notre Dame. USC Arizona, that's the big one to keep an eye on, of course.
It'll be a great game.
Surprised about USC. There's something going on there. This is not a fluke at this point when you see that happen. AT&T Halftime Report brought to you by AT&T, the official wireless provider of Oregon Athletics. Back with the second half after this.
If you love living in the Northwest, chances are you love the outdoors. Then Bi-Mart is your choice for sporting goods. You'll find terrific prices on the gear you want and the name brands you trust. Whether it's hunting, landing the big fish out of our local rivers and streams, or just enjoying a great camping trip with the family. Bi-Mart has what you need to make the most of your time in the outdoors, and it's at everyday low prices that really make a difference. Get geared up for the great outdoors with a little help from Bi-Mart, the right fit for the Northwest.
Hi, dessert fellas. We have several homemade pies. Yummy. Pecan pie, blueberry, strawberry cheesecake, my favorite. You got milkshakes. You put a scoop of French vanilla ice cream on top of that. It's not really French.
Want to get a great restaurant-style burger without the restaurant? The Patty Melt Burger. New at Carl's Jr.
I promise to eat a vegetable as big as my head. As big as my head.
I promise to be more patient. I promise.
I promise.
I promise to hug my wife.
American Family Insurance. We promise to treat your family like our family.
Like our family.
And help make sure you're covered,
current,
and competitive. American Family Insurance.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Insurance.
Promise has a color. We love that color.
Oregon basketball with Ernie Kent. Oregon basketball with Bev Smith. Oregon basketball Friday Night Live. Live games and replays. Oregon Sports Network, your Emmy Award-winning home of the Oregon Ducks.
Meet the Dollar Millionaires. From vintage leather to McDonald's double cheeseburgers, these folks are all about the Washingtons. Looks like Rachel here has this season's it accessory. No wonder she rolls with such a handsome entourage.
These people live like money grows on trees. Trees they can't find.
But they have no trouble finding luxurious meals on the dollar menu. Now I buy that for $1.
Nice is bigger than it looks. It's about more than manners or wide smiles or good karma. Nice is about respect, connecting, humanness, and understanding that we really are all in this thing together. At Oregon Community Credit Union, we're lucky. We get to choose how we do business, and for over 50 years, we've chosen nice. Remarkably nice.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the third quarter here. 40-0, Oregon leads it. I see Brady Leaf going through some warm-ups along with Dennis Dixon. Maybe, I don't know how many more series Dennis will get, maybe 1 or 2. We'll see. Oregon will get the ball first. Here's a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Bud Light. Haven't been able to run the ball at all if you're Washington State. Nothing on the ground.
They're nothing at all, but we're looking at the Oregon stats. I think the most important stat right here is this one. Whoops. It's this one right here. Turnovers. They haven't turned the ball over. And that's how they lost the football game last week, 2 weeks ago against Cal. 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter.
Here's a look at Oregon's first half possessions. I mean, when you score like that, when you score 6 out of 8, pretty impossible to get beat. And just efficient. A lot of touchdowns. They settled for 1 field goal, but it was a drive that started way back on their own 5-yard line. And that was a great drive. I mean, 13 plays 69, and they got something out of it.
Yeah.
And so now the Cougars will have to pick it off here in the second half, and they try it onside. And I think Oregon got onto it. I'm not so sure that it was onside.
No.
It was a squib. They just hit a duck.
That was a squib that wanted to get some height, and it didn't. And Oregon happened to get the football.
Good hands by Kwame Ajaman and some of the other Ducks right there. Let's take a look and see what happened there.
Was it Kwame or Marvin Johnson?
He tried to catch it. Yeah, it was Marvin Johnson.
Yeah, Marvin Johnson did a great job as the DB.
He almost caught it on the fly.
He sure did. And that's kind of tough now to put your defense, Washington State defense, you know, the back to the wall with a short field.
Dixon will come out along with Jonathan Stewart. Ducks will start at the 44, leading it 40-0 here as we start the second half. They'll hand it off to Jonathan. He dances his way, breaks a tackle, and then a flag comes out as he goes out of bounds after a 5-yard pickup. It might be a face mask, could be a holding, not sure.
Well, the receivers were locked up. At the same time, you see Stewart running hard. I mean, he wants to, I think, get busy this second half. It's face mask.
Face mask indicated against the Cougars.
The last thing that Washington State wants is for Oregon to have a quick score, make it 47-0. And here, right here, you'll see the face mask trying to get to the outside. There it goes. Good call by the official.
This is about as quiet as I can ever remember it in Austin Stadium, but it's 40-0. Well, what are you going to, you know, it's just now it's more like a play. You just settle in and be entertained.
And the offense has the football.
Plenty of time. Dixon delivers it. A good catch is made by Garen Strong. They'll give him forward progress to the 27-yard line.
I like to see Garen Strong in the picture a whole lot more as one of the receivers. He's a very good receiver, tall receiver, hard to defend. Has some great hands. A lot of balls don't go his way, but when they do, he can catch them.
Stewart cuts it back. He'll spin. Get close to the first down. I think he's got it at the 22-yard line. Cougars come out with the ball, but he's down there.
Yeah. And now you're going to see that power offense go ahead and slow the plays down. Oregon's offense is usually a fast pace, but at the same time, the clock is on their side.
First and 10 at the 22 now for Dixon. Garen Strong, Aaron Pflugrad, Jason Williams are the wideouts. Ed Dixon at tight end. Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. They'll roll a little bit, throw it back now to Williams, and he wasn't able to come up with it. Those are tough ones for offensive linemen to block, Anthony. Talk about that as a defensive player when you saw those offensive guys coming out of the backfield like that and on the offensive line to block you down in space.
It's very tough to block in space, and it's tough to block in space, and it's tough to get off in space. When you know a receiver or running back's going to catch the ball, you need to get off very quickly. So it's all about technique.
Second down and 10. And Arizona now has taken the lead over USC, 13-10. Stewart will be down after a yard gain, and the Ducks will have a 3rd and 9 coming up. And Arizona, again, it could have been worse. It's 13-10, but that Arizona was close to scoring another touchdown at the end of the first half. So there's trouble in Los Angeles.
Well, talk about a stingy Arizona defense. They've always had a great defense. And Stoops has done a great job, the head coach, with their defense. So it's keeping them in the ballgame.
Remember when Michigan was upset by Appalachian State and they laid an egg the next week, and Oregon had a lot to do with that. But it took them a little while to get over that, and now maybe the same thing for USC. Such a shocking loss that it takes you a little time to get over it. Here comes the blitz again. Picked up to the end zone. Pflugrad has it. Touchdown, Oregon. Aaron Pflugrad, his first touchdown as an Oregon Duck.
He's working on the celebration, but Aaron Pflugrad, for that young freshman, I tell you what, there's a lot of Sheldon High alumni here and students, because you got two guys played at Sheldon High School, and he's one of them. And he's the one who's shining today over Alex Brink. But right here, the celebration, he has to work on body control, going down to the ground.
He went into it a little too hard, I think.
Yeah, he was so excited.
You got to go up, not out, right?
He was a little bit excited.
The extra point is up and good. And what about the throw from D.Dixon? Don't forget about that. On-the-money throw from number 10, who's having a Heisman-type day here at Autzen. 47-0.
If you love living in the Northwest, chances are you love the outdoors. Then Bimart is your choice for sporting goods. You'll find terrific prices on the gear you want and the name brands you trust. Whether it's hunting, landing the big fish out of our local rivers and streams, or just enjoying a great camping trip with the family. Bimart has what you need to make the most of your time in the outdoors, and it's at everyday low prices that really make a difference. Get geared up for the great outdoors with a little help from Bimart, the right fit for the Northwest.
Hi, dessert fellas. We have several homemade pies. Yummy. Pecan pie, blueberry, strawberry cheesecake, my favorite. You got milkshakes. They put a scoop of French vanilla ice cream on top of that. It's not really French.
Want to get a great restaurant-style burger without the restaurant? The Patty Melt Burger. New at Carl's Jr.
I promise to eat a vegetable as big as my head. As big as my head.
I promise to be more patient. I promise. I promise.
I promise to hug my wife.
American Family Insurance. We promise to treat your family like our family.
Like our family.
And help make sure you're covered
Current.
and competitive. American Family Insurance.
American
Family Insurance.
Promise has a color. We love that color.
Welcome back, everyone. Young man with his first career touchdown. Aaron Pflugrad here from Sheldon High School. So we talked a lot about one Sheldon grad coming into this game, Alex Brink, who's been a complete non-factor. And it's the other Sheldon young man having a big day. And, of course, his coach and dad.
His dad.
Used to be at Washington State, Robin Pflugrad. And second season here with Oregon. He was a recruiting coordinator at Washington State, so he knows a lot of these kids for the Cougars. And a little known fact, his daughter and Aaron's sister is an Oregon cheerleader. So the Pflugrad family all immersed in the Oregon Ducks now.
Well, that's a proud papa right there of having his son score his first touchdown as a true freshman playing in the game, had to step up, and he's doing a great job. But he, like I said earlier, when the ball's in the air, he will catch the football. He was known for his great hands in high school. I watched him play in high school. Very good. Not a big guy. You know, he's like a Mike Hass. The ball will go up in the air. He will catch it.
First career touchdown, and that's a nice thing for him here today. Dennis Dixon just, again, having just an unbelievable day today as well. He's 21 of 28, 287 yards and touchdowns. Brink with a little real estate. Still working. He'll have a first down, and he'll take it out of bounds on the Oregon sideline.
Alex Brink picks up 12 yards.
And they move the chains. Been a long time since they have had any passing yards. None in the second quarter. None so far here in the third, as they're just getting started.
I think that's one of his few scrambles that Alex Brink will have. He's not a scrambler. He's a pocket passer. Great coverage, pass coverage downfield.
Ducks are calling for a holding penalty. They thought they had one of their guys tackled. This one is incomplete. Intended for Michael Bumpus, who's been awfully quiet.
Watching Washington State's demeanor, physical demeanor of how they're carrying themselves, and they know they're defeated. I mean, there's no life, and I know you're down 47-0, but you have to finish the ball game.
Well, the personal pride thing, Anthony, you talk about that a lot too.
Yes.
I mean, there's the score, but what do you do every single play up against the guy that you're matched up against? That's what you have to focus on. Second down and 10 here for Brink. Fans still making some noise, the folks that are still here. Pressure. Brink hit from behind and dropped at the 25.
Kenny Rowe, another young freshman. A lot of freshman stars shine in this game. Kenny Rowe is known for that speed, Joe, coming around the corner, beat his tackle. It's going to be a good defensive end.
John Bacon was making a beat on it as well. I'm going to have to dig the book out, Anthony, because there's going to be a lot of names coming up here in the second half that you've probably never heard before that will be on the field for the Oregon Ducks. This is an everybody play day. Ryan DePalo is out on the field as well, Anthony, number 9, which is a big deal coming back from that injury. Here's Brink, has a man open. It's caught, maybe just a little short of the first down, depending on where they spot it. They gave him a good spot. Gave him a great spot, matter of fact. And if you're Oregon, you could even review it if you wanted to. Bumpus made the catch down there.
They're going to measure.
And they're going to measure it, but I think his knee was down more close to the 45, Anthony. They put the ball across the line. It's a first down. If they're going to measure it, but I think it's clearly a first down if that's where it is. Let's see where he really should have been down.
It's a great pass and a great route. It's a corner route going to the sideline. And right here, across the 45.
Well, it's a pretty good spot. Yeah, his knee was down right on the line.
Yeah, I think they got the first down.
Yeah, they got the first down, a good spot, and a good completion by Alex Brink.
First down, Cougars.
The Cougar defense needed that. They're still trying to, again, recover from being down 47 points, hoping that their offense can move the football and get some points on the board.
Ducks still with most of their first team defenders out there on the field. And it is only the first possession of the third quarter, so why wouldn't you? Brink out of the shotgun here. More pressure coming. This time he throws down the middle, and he has a man complete at the 20-yard line. Brink took another big shot, gets up off the turf.
Well, Walter Thurman, watching his defensive play on that play, he was the one who was defending Anderson. And you'll see right here that Alex Brink takes a shot after he throws a football. But Walter Thurman tries to come underneath to make a play. Can't do that. It's tough to do. The ball carries very fast. You cannot outrun a football. For him to go underneath to make the play, 9 times out of 10, that ball will sail over him, and the guy will catch the football.
Couldn't throw it any better as they're trying to get the goose egg off the board here. Been a long time since they've been shut out. Flag is down, but that throw was such a good throw. You know, it looked like it stuck underneath the shoulder pads.
Great throw.
Number 73 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
They'll move it back 1st and 15 now for Brink and the Cougars. Fans want the shutout. They're actually coming to their feet in that end zone down there in the east end zone. Pressure coming. Brink gets hit again, but he delivers it complete inside the 10. And unlike last year, Brink is having to get up every down.
Yeah, you're right.
This year.
You're right. He's if it was a muddy field, he would be dirty right now. But this is another great throw. Top timing. You know the blitz is coming. You put it up there for your receiver to go up and get the football. It's a nice job by Bumpus to go up and get that ball at the highest point. You tell your young receivers, go to the highest point and catch that football.
Fans actually making a lot of noise right now inside the 10. Corner blitz coming. Over the middle. Caught for the touchdown. Michael Bumpus. And the Cougars are on the board.
It's a nice, very nice offensive drive for Washington State. Alex was standing in the pocket, just delivering this ball with some authority. And right here, just standing back there, right down the middle, just firing that football right through there. It's a nice job.
Abdul Mohammadi on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is through, and he has a chance to get his leg a little bit warm. 47-7 here with 10:47 to go in the third quarter. Alex Brink finally has a touchdown pass here today against the Ducks.
This busy place is Comcast's Fiber Optics Center. Our digital network starts here, bringing Comcast services to your neighborhood. In your home, 100% digital cable with on-demand makes TV better than ever. You can surf the net faster using Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. And talk all you want with Comcast Digital Voice, featuring unlimited nationwide calling. Connect to the future. Get all three for just $33 each per month for 12 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
Hey, Vinny.
Oh, hey there, Miss Heaton.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of Albertson's Blue Ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Heaton.
35.
Well, the Cougar fans had a chance to get up and cheer a little bit as Washington State on the board, 47-7. Of course, Oregon and Washington State tied in so many ways. We know so many folks, of course, that went to Washington State. So many of the good folks, a lot of good friends who are Washington State Cougars. Carl's Jr. $6 burger scoring drive, 7 plays, 76 yards, 214. Bumpus the 8-yard TD catch. I was talking about Washington State. One thing that Oregon fans and Washington State fans will always have together is their communal feeling towards the Huskies. Nobody can ever take that togetherness away from them, no matter what happens on any football field at any time. Remedy Alston gets a chance to return this kick as he takes it up the middle and has a lot of room. Alston still on his feet, gets hit at the 45, and the Ducks again will have a short field, leading at 47-7.
Well, you're seeing a lot of young guys in the ball game. Alston and Crenshaw.
Now here's one of my favorite things. You can get down and audition to sing the national anthem at a men's basketball game. You go to Mac Court tomorrow from noon to 3. And you know what? If you just want to be entertained, you're looking for something to do tomorrow, noon to 3. I mean, you're going to see the best and the best. There's no bad way to sing the national anthem, of course.
You wouldn't see me out there.
Brady Leaf on now. High snap, and Leaf fumbles his first play, so that's not the way they wanted to start things out for Brady's Leaf, as we've got an entirely new group out there. Offensive linemen, centers, the entire group. Drew Davis is out there. Brady Leaf, I see Andre Crenshaw out there. Malachi Lewis. The receivers, of course, sometimes you have to go 5 deep, so Ed Dixon and Derek Jones are still out there. See if Brady gets a chance to throw the ball here against Washington State, of course, the team that he's grew up knowing a heck of a lot about. And Crenshaw with a pretty good carry, 6 yards to the 48.
That was a nice run by Andre Crenshaw. He reminds me of a Jeremiah Johnson, the way he runs. Kind of the same running style, not as big as Jeremiah, not as explosive, but yet he's still a pup as well.
Third down 6.
Third down and 6 here. See if Brady can move the chains to get a chance to have a few more plays here before I can kind of punt the ball away. Here's Leaf to throw it. He'll throw it to the outside and incomplete. Crenshaw had a chance at it, but he didn't bring it in. And might have been, well, you don't want it. The sun angle's not the best on him there, but.
And that's a tough catch for the running back. He's running a flare pattern, going out and away, trying to turn his body with the shoulder pads, the helmet, and the sun, not giving him any excuses, but that's a tough one. And if there's something on that ball, a little bit too much. See, the ball's kind of behind him, so it's a tough situation.
There's some mustard on it, too.
Yeah, it's up to the quarterback to lay that out there so the running back can go chase the football down and keep on running.
Josh Cyree, who punted twice in the first half. He had a bomb 59-yarder, and then he also knocked one down inside the 5-yard line. This one will have a chance to kill in there as well. It's a low punt, but it's going to be caught at the 15. Bumpus has it, and he'll take it out to the 26-yard line. The Cougars will come out, and they'll come out throwing from there.
Oh, yes. Alex Sprank's going to sit back there and throw this football, and I see also
there's a flag down too, Anthony. There's a flag.
Sure is.
It's holding on Oregon, so they can decide to take that. I'm sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
No, I can see Jed Collins, the tight end for Washington State, being a factor here pretty soon. Number 41, you see there right in this picture. He's a playmaker.
Holding, number 84, the kicking team. That penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. First down.
Had to be a post-kick hold. Hey fans, don't forget about the Ozone. You can get your membership today. Go to GoDucks.com for a limited time. You get a free Oregon Fleece blanket with a 1-year membership. For more information, visit GoDucks.com today. Cougars start out in the shadows here at the 36. Alex Brink, for the quarterback. He'll take one down the field deep. Got a man out there who was not able to come up with it. Anderson had a shot at it, but he couldn't get it in.
You know, I'm wondering, and Nick Aliotti is a great defensive coordinator, but now's the time to go ahead and keep a free safety back there. There's no free safety back there. You got the corner still playing one-on-one coverage. Go ahead and put somebody back there. They know they're going to take some shots. And they've taken a shot. And maybe Matthew Harper was the free safety, but at this point, you need to say, my free safety, stay deep as the deepest. Keep everything in front of you. You got to line up at 20 yards, line up at 20 yards.
Second down and 10. Still early in the third quarter. Brink gets hit. He'll go down back at the 27. I was just going to say, this is not an exact situation that he picks up a lot of yards, but this is really what the Cougar fans have talked about a lot, is that, yeah, you can be the career leading yardage guy over Jason Gesser, and you can have the career touchdowns, and you can have the most completions, but when are the, you know, if you want to look at meaningful yards, Jason Gesser had way more meaningful yards than Alex Brink ever had.
And victories, you know, taking a team to win football games. They've always said that, you know, yards don't win football games, it's points. So your team score points and get in the end zone.
Has to step up this time and looks over the middle, makes a nice move, and then takes a hit just short of the first down. It'll be 4th and a yard coming up. He almost picked up the 18 on the play. He'll be about a yard short.
Well, they have to go for it.
The injury report we have on Jeremiah Johnson is a right knee out for the day. So they didn't give us anything else beyond that. They don't have to, of course. So they'll go for it here on 4th and a yard. Fans will make a little noise here and come up. They're quick to the line. Let's see if they try to run it. Haven't been able to run the ball at all today. Brink's going to throw it. Looks deep. And almost a great catch made, but incomplete. And Oregon will take over at the 45.
Well, they tried to catch Oregon sleeping with the little play action, throwing it to the corner. And the corner pattern was hurting the Ducks. The receiver running up the field and going towards the sideline. It would have been a great catch if he would have caught that football, just a little bit too much to the sideline.
I think Brink wanted to go to Bumpus, but Oregon had Bumpus covered out there in the flat. And he kind of, that little pump fake, little check up, really, in that case, as he went to the receiver further down the field.
And as he held the football, his receiver kept going to the sideline, so he ran out of room.
7:39 to go. To keep you updated, after 3 quarters, Arizona is leading USC 13-10. So they continue in Los Angeles on a hot, heavy one down there. Crenshaw fumbles the football, and Washington State trying to get on it, but I think Oregon might have got on it.
Oregon got the football.
Ball was laying around a bunch of Cougars, and I think that it looked like Pat So'alu got back on it, and they're still unpiling him. It is Oregon football. He may never let that one go. Look at that. He's not going to even give it to the official.
That ball was laying.
Look at that. He doesn't want to give it up.
One of his first time he gets to touch the football. Got to protect the football in the crowd.
Boy, how did they not get that? So'alu, the only duck.
The only duck in the middle of the pile there. The only duck.
He's not going to let that thing go. Are you kidding? First down for Oregon at the 33 as Brady Lee changes the play now. Crenshaw is the tailback. Brady's still looking for his first completion now. He'll hand this one to Crenshaw on the inside. He spins for a couple of yards.
Crenshaw picks up a yard in the 32.
These Oregon coaches want to see these young guys perform right here, and this is the time for them to shine, because in the game of football, you're always one play away from becoming a starter because of injury, which happened today. So these young guys, they still got to shine today.
2nd and 9. Play gets changed. Nate Costa doing the signaling in of the plays at this point. Get the play off, and they'll hand it off again. Here's Crenshaw. Turns it up. He's going to be short of the first down, setting up a 3rd and 3 from the 26-yard line.
Crenshaw on that running play does a nice job of reading the ball carriers, the blockers. You see him. Little guy's taking a deep shot at the quarterback.
Taking a shot at Brady Leaf, and he just did the old lay on him. Like a matador. Here comes the blitz. Leaf gets rid of the ball and throws it too high. Incomplete for Malachi Lewis, and Oregon will have an opportunity here to try a field goal. They have a multitude of kickers, so they can send in all kinds of guys. Let's see who they send in.
Nice conversation.
It's going to be Daniel Padilla to attempt the kick. He was in battle with Matt Evenson to start the season. The kick is on the way, and it's good. So Daniel Padilla gets some work in and makes it an even 5-0. The location right here in Autzen Stadium, 50-7 with 5:47 to go as Daniel Padilla puts one through here against the Cougars. More to come after this.
There are no free rides on the road to victory. Do you have what it takes to pay the toll? Gatorade. Is it in you?
Hey, taxi!
More bars in more places. That's what you can expect from the new AT&T, the largest digital voice and data network in America, and more global coverage than any U.S. carrier. So switch to the network you can trust. AT&T, your world delivered.
And welcome back, everyone. 50-7 here on what's turned out to be a beautiful sunny day here at Autzen. A little cold at the start, but the Ducks have been all over Washington State. And look at the push-ups for the Duck. Now, the only thing, he didn't do them all, Anthony, because he was supposed to drop and do 50. We could go back and count. If you add 7 plus 10 plus 17 plus 19 plus 26 and on all the way to plus 50, that's 239 push-ups the Duck had to do today.
He's getting his workout in.
Ducks cover it well all the way back to the 10-yard line on the return for Charles Dillon. 239 push-ups. He may have, there's 5:38 to go in the corner.
There's a lot of time left. He's getting his workout.
I don't think he did all 50.
But the 50 was kind of quick. He's doing the short. He's not bending the elbows.
There might be a little disciplinary action on that. That's better. It's better to get just carried up rather than do the push-ups. He's too tired.
He's tired.
Oh man, the Duck is a funny funny deal, isn't it? Seeing him on game day. Yeah. Cougars with a big hole here. McCall, I believe, with the carry. Tardy actually on the carry with a first down to the 24. Ducks with lots of new faces out there.
Well, we saw the new faces for defense, for offense.
Yeah, I only see a couple out on defense.
On defense, yeah.
Nick Reed's out there. There's Bird still out there.
The whole starting defense is out there.
There's Brink over the middle. That's complete. Anderson has the catch and a first down at the 37-yard line.
Brink's pass complete to Anderson.
Kevin Garnett, number 25, is the only new guy that's out there right now with the starting defense. Garrett, excuse me.
Out of Carson, California. At an end, he's with the Celtics.
Yes, a player.
First and 10, here's Brink to throw. Reed on the beat after him. And a nice play is made by David Fatete, getting off the block and making the stop.
Great play by David Fatete to get blocked at the beginning, knowing that Tardy has a football, come off the block and just hog tie him down to the ground. He's come a long way as a football player. Played at Medford, Oregon. He's come a long ways. Not the biggest defensive tackle.
Here comes the pressure. Brink gonna go down way back at the 17.
Nick Reed, the young man that comes off the corner, and I said earlier he was a young man, and time flies. He's a junior now, but his speed as a defensive end. There's another guy that's not very big as a defensive end, but talk about speed, talk about quickness, getting off the ball when the ball snapped. He's tough to block.
Third down and 30. That was the 5th sack by Oregon. And they'll just run it and punt the football on 3rd and 30. And that may be it for Alex Brink on the day as he walks off and trots off the Autzen turf after what has to be just a nightmare day for him. 3 first-quarter turnovers kind of set it off, and then the Ducks have just overwhelmed Washington State ever since. Andiel Brown is deep. That one's a short one. It hit a Duck player, and the Cougars pick it up. That's just a bad luck thing right there. They punt a grounder at you. And again, when you punt the ball like that, all kinds of crazy things can happen. And on that play, it did.
Well, on that, the Duck players also have to know that this guy is punting the ball like this on purpose, just trying to get the ball down there. And so the Duck players need to be looking around them, behind them, see where the ball is.
It's like bowling. You got a chance to hit something.
Something, yeah. But the Duck players can't run blind. They gotta know that this ball is going to be squibbed down the field. They have to be alert.
Brink is the quarterback back out there, so he'll have another opportunity. Now a stop play for some reason. They're going to review it to see if it actually hit an Oregon player. I don't think there's any question, Anthony. It looked like it hit.
Well, yeah, it looks like it
right
made
the back of the leg.
Hit 2 Oregon players running down the field. Like you said, it looked like it was bowling. The ball just bounced off a couple of people. And you see, not the high kick.
You're not going to win the hang time award with that.
Not at all.
0.4 seconds of hang time. It's hard.
Right there.
Right there.
Hit Patrick Chung.
Patrick knew it too. He even turned around.
Yeah,
It's like,
he knew it.
Jeez.
He hit his foot, hit his left foot.
There's not a gopher out there that jumped up and grabbed him in the ankle.
And that's a tough deal. Again, the way they're kicking that ball, and it's an odd way to go and kick the ball and try to get something cheap, but it's in their game plan. So.
So the Cougars will have the ball here at the 47 as they took a look at it and saw that it did hit Patrick Chung.
I'm still surprised that the Cougar offense is not a no huddle offense. You know, I mean, if anything, because you may have to use it one time in a 2-minute situation. And they're not using it.
Work on something, right? Here's Brink going deep down the field. He's got Anderson down there. And he made the catch somehow. It just fell into his lap as he was falling backwards. And they have it inside the 10.
A great catch by Anderson.
I've never seen an athlete catch the ball more without using his hands. It hit him right in the gut. The breadbasket.
Yeah, it did. I mean, there's a bomb, and he hit his head on the turf and laid down there for a little bit.
Well, that's the one thing is Oregon's tried to, not throw the ball or whatever. The Cougars certainly aren't stopping playing. They're going to keep throwing it and trying to score. Here's Brink. Plenty of time outside. It's caught. But the Ducks are right there to make the play as Michael Bumpus tackled by Patrick Chung.
Anytime you're throwing the football down here inside the red zone, when I say red zone, 20-yard line in, it's tough because the field becomes smaller. Those spaces become tough to throw that ball in. You got to fire that ball in.
New group of Ducks on the field now. Jeffrey Mayle is out there. Here's Brink looking far side. He throws it. And Walter Thurman trying to work and not giving up that inside position.
Yeah, that's very nice coverage from Walter Thurman, taking the inside away. It's a nice job trying to throw a slant pattern to the inside, and Walter reaches around. He's not making contact with the player's back. Good call.
Third and goal from the 7-yard line. They're going to hand this one off, and there is no room whatsoever on 3rd and 7. And it's a 2-down situation anyway. So
yeah, that's a 2-down situation. Sticking with the run and then try to do the pass, and they try to get a quick one on the little draw play.
Kevin McCall on the carry, which Oregon had a running back in the day named Kevin McCall.
Sure did.
A little update around the conference. Arizona still leading USC 13-10. We'll see the Trojans here in a couple weeks at Autzen. 4th and goal for Alex Brink and the Cougars. Here comes everybody. Brink throws it to the end zone. Incomplete. And Oregon takes over at the 7.
Well, both the defensive back and the receiver fell down. Alex couldn't hold that football any longer. He had to get rid of it. Looked like Jackson fell down the defender, and it might have been Bumpus who also fell. It was Anderson. You can't see it from that part, but they both fell down, and then Anderson got back up to get the ball.
Brady Leaf back out at quarterback. Ducks will take over. 1:18 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They'll hand it off to Crenshaw. Tries to cut it back up. Maybe pick up a yard.
Andre Crenshaw stopping the game.
Well, here you want Oregon to take some time off that clock running the football, but at the same time, you got to be able to pick up some first downs, and you got to get the Oregon's defense a chance to rest. It's time for the offense to move the football, move the chains, get the first downs, so take some more time off the clock.
USC has moved in front of Arizona now, 17-13. There have been no upsets so far today. The teams in front of Oregon in the rankings are still in front of them, but USC situation could maybe work out, Anthony, because if people are actually watching this game across the country, they will see, USC only dropped 6 spots or 5 spots, depending on the poll, after they lost to Stanford. When Wisconsin lost to Illinois, they dropped 15 spots. It wasn't a worse loss.
Right.
And so now, USC, if they squeak by and win against Arizona, there's an opportunity for Oregon to jump ahead of USC in the poll.
It could be. The way Oregon's playing today, if the game ended right now, it's 50-7. Yeah.
3rd down and long here. Sorry.
Another top 10 team lost. Wisconsin lost, or they were losing badly.
Going to call a timeout here. We're making the end of the quarter. We'll take a timeout here at Autzen Stadium. After 3, 50-7, as we're playing this thing out here at Autzen Stadium on a sun-splashed day here in Eugene. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this on the Oregon Sports Network.
Oh, nice place.
I'll get us some Bud Lights.
I'll take the stairs. I forgot the glasses.
It's pretty funny.
Not bad. Watch this. I'll take the escalator.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. I'll go down and get dinner.
Go ahead, explore life. You're covered. Because whatever you do, wherever you go, Pacific Source Health Plans is with you. It's just that simple, and it's just that local. The way healthcare should be. As part of your local healthcare network, we're committed to helping you get the care you need. Give us a call to find out how we can work together for your good health. Pacific Source Health Plans. Discover the source. On the web at pacificsource.com.
Welcome back, everyone. 50-7. Oregon, well, they had a lot of motivation this week. They had the motivation of Washington State celebrating like they'd, just landed a man on Mars.
Yeah.
And last year in that game, as the players were carried off the field. And then what happened a couple of weeks ago, the motivation of that, the excitement of being back in the top 10. And then also, Washington State hadn't been here very often. We've been up to 4 6 of the last 7 weeks, Anthony.
I thought that was my new home, Coleman.
Yeah, we were thinking about maybe getting a 2-bedroom apartment to save money.
I took that trip too often. Great campus up there. Very nice campus. Very nice campus.
Yeah, I love that. I love, like I said, know a lot of folks from Washington State.
So one thing we do have in common, like you said, we both, the Duck fans and the Cougars, don't like the Huskies.
That's right. We always have that common bond if you're an Oregon fan or Washington State fan. Here's Brady Leaf on the scramble. Look at Leaf across the 20 and sliding down for a first down.
Well, that was huge for the Oregon defense because now they can get some more rest, sit on the sideline. They just sat down and got some water and went through some adjustments, and big third down conversion by the Oregon offense. Brady Leaf taking it in his hands, well, with his legs to pick up the first down.
Talking about that ranking, those rankings, Anthony. Oregon has been ranked in the top 10 in 5 of the last 7 seasons. In the 103 plus years before that, they'd only done that twice. So it just shows you the era of what's going on right now for Oregon football is, this is different than it's ever been, and being ranked in the top 10 is not something to be taken lightly. Yeah. It's a big deal when you're up there and in the top 10, the notoriety, and it breeds itself. You do it, you rank number 9, and you start to climb up, and then, hey, kids are seeing you in the top 10 every week. Recruiting?
Exactly. That's the important thing you said, recruiting. The kids are seeing that across the country, and now you're nationally known for good football, and the kids, all the good athletes, want to go there.
Crenshaw trying to find a little bit of room. Going through the old book to see if this would be the most points Oregon has ever scored against Washington State in the history that goes all the way back to 1901. But Oregon scored 52 in 1999 against Washington State here in Eugene, a 52-10 win. And that looks to be the most Oregon's ever scored against the Cougars. So anything they put on the board from here on out would be the biggest number they've ever laid up on their rivals up to the north and east. First down to the outside. Malachi Lewis, his second catch today.
Another youngster, another young pup stepping up. They talk about this football team, and this football team is going to be good for the future, not only this year, but as the years to come, because there's a lot of the young stars on the football team are young. The main star, the key guy, D.Dixon, will be gone, but there's some young ones and that step up and do some things, and we'll see if Costa, the third-string quarterback, does this thing.
Remine Olsen is hit and dropped quickly at the 46. Ducks will head up to Seattle next week, and then USC here, which, the complexion of that game changes a little bit. Of course, with USC looking very vulnerable right now. Arizona State, well, they beat Washington State 23-20 on a, well, they made a field goal with less than a minute, and Washington State had another chance, and they missed the field goal. A 23-20 win for ASU in Pullman a week ago, and so the way the schedule lays out for Oregon, pretty favorable, but they have to take care of a lot of business as Alston tries to cut it back, and now Oregon will have a third long again. And the game up at Washington, Anthony, that's a what a huge game, tough game. It's been a while since we've been up there.
It's always a tough situation, tough atmosphere to go up there in Husky land and play. Back in the day, it was on that hard turf. It was cold, right, the stadium right off the lake, and they had always in the past tough football teams. And this team is, Ty Winningham is doing a good job with his football team of becoming, more competitive compared to what's been happening lately.
Lead outside. Rory Cavalier with the catch and a first down. So let's see how many different Ducks have had catches today. Jason Williams with 4. Derek Jones with 4. Ed Dixon has 3. Pflugrad 3. Malachi Lewis, Jonathan Stewart, Garen Strong, and now Rory Cavalier.
That shows you the type of offense that Oregon has, that they spread the ball around. Everybody can be a superstar. Everybody has a chance to touch the football.
Leads the throw again. Now he looks to the far side. He drops it out short. And a completion to Aaron Pflugrad for 6 yards on the play. He'll get his first chance to be in that Husky Stadium turf. These two teams, of course, just when you see them, when you see the O and the W, you know it doesn't go together. No, it's like peanut butter and mustard. If you put peanut butter and mustard on a sandwich, you don't eat it.
It doesn't go.
They don't go together. It's like mustard and honey. You don't put them together.
No.
You don't have a mustard and honey sandwich.
The colors don't look good together. Nothing. The W and the O, nothing.
Remine Alston turns it up close to a first down. Pick up 5 on the play. I think it's just maybe a little short. They'll mark it third down, just a little short, Anthony, and 3.5 yard coming up.
Well, I'm impressed with the second and third string offense of moving the football, moving the change, running the clock down so everybody can get out of here healthy.
At 50-7, of course, you're always trying to think about things to talk about. In no time, 55 is the most points ever scored by either team in this series. So if Oregon were to score a touchdown, that would be the most points scored by one team in this series. It goes back 106 years. That's the kind of drubbing Oregon has laid on the Cougars here today. Here's Lee outside. Cavalier makes a nice turn to the 22-yard line. Of course, the big question will be that this win didn't come without a cost, Anthony. There's 2 injuries today that seem serious. Cameron Colvin and Jeremiah Johnson.
I think Cameron Colvin is the worst out of the 2. Jeremiah Johnson may be, you can't speculate, I'm not sure, but his demeanor, he wasn't as sad or frustrated as Colvin when he was taken off with the card.
And Alston still working. And he'll have the first down inside the 20. As we go under 10 minutes here at Autzen.
Anytime a young football star, used to be a star in high school, but now he's in college and he's now the second and third string, has his chance to do something, they want to shine. Fans want to talk about 57 points, score another touchdown, but the players, they want to just get a touchdown. They want to, make the coaches proud.
Here comes the blitz. Alston outside, he cuts it back. Alston looking good with a hole and squirting to the 13-yard line. Anthony, you and I have seen Remine a lot in practice, and he always looks good in practice.
Always looks good in practice. He's a tough guy. He's not a real tall guy. He's tough to bring down. But watching him, more experience, that will come in playing time. But he's a player.
LSU and Kentucky entering the fourth quarter in doubt. Kentucky at home. Here he is again with the ball, and he'll maybe get a yard, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Remone's done a good job giving the Oregon defense good looks, because that's, you know, he's been the scout team running back.
Man, it's funny you said that, Joe, because it's so important. I try to tell my young football team, the scout team is so important during the week, and that starts the week and trying to have a good look, trying to show the opponent and how fast the opponent will be. It's very important. If you have a scout team that doesn't really show anything, then all of a sudden coming to a game time, the speed is so much different from practice to game.
3rd and 4. Bringing the blitz. Leaf now looking for some room. Now he's on the run, and he'll go down. He fumbles the ball. They do rule it a fumble, but Oregon did recover it at the 23-yard line, and Brady gets up.
Well, Brady's not a Dennis Dixon who's going to run the football, scramble, but got to give some credit back to Washington State's defensive backs. Nothing downfield. Brady Leaf, he's trying to get out of harm's way, gets twisted up.
And they threw the beanbag on that.
Yeah.
So they would have reviewed it, but they did throw the beanbag on it. It was officially ruled a fumble and recovered by Oregon. Daniel Padilla, a 39-yard attempt for Padilla. This one on its way, and it is good, just inside the upright. So Padilla with his second field goal of the game, 53-7, with 7:34 to go here at Autzen.
Weimart is the right fit for the Northwest because we know what people in the Northwest want. We know our members appreciate quality products at a great value. That's why you'll find outstanding housewares at everyday low prices. Find the name brands you know and trust, and the products designed to make your life a little easier. Whether you're just outfitting your first kitchen or you're an accomplished cook, Weimart has the great quality you're looking for. Get cooking with great values in our housewares department. We're Weimart, the right fit for the Northwest.
Psst. Hey, Max, you awake?
Yeah, Cliff. What is it?
Did you see the architectural plans I was making today?
Did you see the full-size player displays I'm printing?
What about the classic car banners I'm doing?
That's nothing. Check out the details on the action photos I'm copying.
Yeah, well, I can make 3D models of almost anything.
Will you guys power down? I'm trying to rest here.
Right Angle Digital Print and Supply. Your complete source for reprographic solutions.
We're the hottest print shop in town.
The University of Oregon Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you. You're already a dedicated Duck, so why join the U of O Alumni Association? Because we work solely to advance the goals of the university, such as providing scholarships for incoming freshmen, because 80% of your dues are tax deductible, because you'll have access to single-game football tickets ahead of the general public, because you get an annual coupon saving you 20% at the Duck shops, because it's the right thing to do. The U of O Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you.
Don't forget, fans, the Pape Jam right around the corner. Utah for the men, Santa Barbara for the women. For more information, call 877-789-7673. Tickets available on Monday. Get them at Safeway, ComcastTix.com, RoseQuarter.com, the Rose Quarter box office. Basketball time. Ducks will be going by a lot of threes. With Tawan Porter and Bryce Taylor, they had their first practice. Jerry Allen tells me that some of the new guys, Cameron Brown and Drew Viney, with the four guys back, Malik Hairston and Marty Lunan and Bryce and Tawan. Look at
Porter's something special.
Ooh, nice job. Ducks do a good job on the coverage down there. Some of the new guys out having some action down there.
Well, he's getting a lot of action right here.
Okay, so trying to figure it out. He couldn't even stand up, because that's, if you add the 53 on top of that, that's 292 push-ups that the little old Duck has had to do all day long. He couldn't even stand up after it was over. 292.
He's getting his workout once a week, you know, but he's been rested.
He should be rested. He had a week off. There's no excuses, Anthony.
He got suspended one time, so he's rested.
That's right. He had suspension.
Foul face mask on number 50 on the return team. Half the distance to go from the end of the run. First down.
Face mask on the Cougars, but there's no excuse for that. You got a week off, and you had another week you were suspended. 292. He's going to have to do some bread eating to get his energy back. Well, I'll tell you what, 292 is more than the 4 that I can do.
I used to be a push-up man, not anymore. Those days are gone.
You'd easily do 292 in one day, wouldn't you?
Back in the day. Long time ago.
Alex Brink is done for the day. So the Cougars will come out with a new quarterback, and they'll run the ball on first down. Marcus Richmond on the carry. So Alex Brink on the day, well, it didn't turn out the way he had hoped. 15 of 33, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble. Was able to throw the ball for 251 yards, but that was on 33 attempts. A lot of those yards came when this game had already been decided, which really happened, Anthony, kind of midway through the second quarter.
Right. Tough day for Alex. Back at home. High school right down the street.
Gary Rogers, the quarterback, to hand the ball off again. So Marcus Richmond. Brink won that job over Josh Schwager, who then transferred out to Montana. And that has left Gary Rogers as the backup quarterback.
You know, it's funny that Alex Brink, that first quarter, Joe, he was on fire. He played well. But a lot of credit goes to the receivers. The receivers were catching the football, making some great catches. Anderson made a great catch over the middle and kind of just disappeared as the game went on.
Rogers to throw. Here comes a rush. Brandon Bear putting some pressure on him, and that one gets kicked away, incomplete. And I'll tell you what, I saw Brandon Bear walk in to the office in the Casanova Center. He is 6'7". He's a 6'7" defensive line who has the kind of athleticism that's just uncommon for a guy that big.
Because he used to play tight end.
Yeah.
He was a tight end. He was the tight end converted to defensive end. He has quickness. He has athletic ability. Kind of a tall, lanky basketball type player. And you always say that those, you know, the aggressive basketball players, guys who play in college and NBA, they would be great defensive ends, great tight ends.
He's going to be tough to handle here as the years go by. Here he comes again. This time Rogers rushes out. There's nobody over there. And Rogers will have a first down, and he'll step out of bounds at the 45. 14 yards on the play as the folks head on out of Autzen.
Well, the fans have seen some very good football today by their Ducks, both on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. Special teams played solid.
I know when I was a kid, you couldn't drag me out of here. It could have been 100-0. You wouldn't be able to drag me out of watching every single play. Run up the middle there for Richmond. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Beautiful evening, though. As you can see, the folks lining up on MLK to get out of Autzen Stadium, and the tree's starting to turn. Beautiful night. I wanted to also mention, Anthony, the new OSN head coach. One of the big motorhomes that the Oregon Sports Network now has, called the OSN head coach, and it's a motorhome donated in part by Monaco Coach and Guaranty Chevrolet, or Guaranty RV, which of course they have all kinds of dealerships, and started out with a Chevrolet dealership out in Junction City. They're great supporters of Oregon and Oregon State athletics, and so the OSN head coach, big motorhome, is going to travel around the state, go to the golf tournaments, and be a lot of fun for us to have. It's out there parked in the lot.
Somewhere out there.
It's out there.
In
yeah,
the sea of motorhomes.
Yeah, and it's a really fun thing, you know.
Today's attendance, 50.
You know, one day I do want to go out there and be a part of that tailgate. I have never done that. You know, I have never been out there. And,
oh, really? Yeah.
You know, I think maybe we need to talk to our bosses to have a production room out there with some barbecue and some.
That's a good idea. Rogers down the field, nobody out there. That's a great idea.
You know, get some soda and some cold water and talk about the game plan that we have to put together.
Yeah, get some brats. Maybe. I think that the creative part of what Oregon fans have done over the years is we go to other places and see. I know you and I, when we went to Oklahoma.
Oh, yes.
Remember the deep fried peach?
I cannot believe that.
They were showing us everything.
They made everything. They said they would work on it for a week. You know, whatever entree they're working on, it took a week to make it before the game, and they gave us everything. The nicest group of fans I think we've been at. with the Oklahoma fans, the Sooner fans.
Yeah, that first year, of course, the third time Oregon played him, it wasn't so friendly anymore. All right, 53-7, 5:40 to go here. We'll be back here at the tail end of this Oregon blowout win here today at Autzen. More to come after this.
Nice is bigger than it looks. It's about more than manners or wide smiles or good karma. Nice is about respect, connecting, humanness, and understanding that we really are all in this thing together. At Oregon Community Credit Union, we're lucky. We get to choose how we do business, and for over 50 years, we've chosen nice. Remarkably nice.
Got $1 in my pocket. Gonna spend it on you. I know it's not much, dear, but it'll have to do.
The green burrito taco salad is back at Carl's Jr. because you can't have burgers all the time.
Today's game has been brought to you by Carl's Jr., home of the new Patty Melt Burger. AT&T, your world delivered. By Pepsi, it's the Cola. Oregon Community Credit Union, nice, remarkably nice. And by Bimart, Northwest grown, employee owned. 53-7, the Oregon Ducks lead it. Here's Dana. She works for the OSN folks as well. Oregon cheerleaders doing a great job. A little pep rally here on homecoming yesterday. Fourth down.
Didn't one of the cheerleaders win some award?
Well, yeah, I think
National Cheerleader Award.
Well, Kelsey was the National Cheerleader of the Week for SI.com.
That's right.
This one's taken back at the 10. Andy O'Brown, the normal punt returner, gets a chance to put his hands on the football. Maybe he'll even get to carry some in the backfield as well. Back after this.
Oregon basketball with Ernie Kent. Oregon basketball with Bev Smith. Oregon basketball Friday Night Live. Live games and replays. Oregon Sports Network, your Emmy Award-winning home of the Oregon Ducks.
Meet the Dollar Mentionnaires. From vintage pleather to McDonald's double cheeseburgers, these folks are all about the Washingtons. Looks like Rachel here has this season's it accessory. No wonder she rolls with such a handsome entourage.
These people live like money grows on trees. Trees they can't find.
But they have no trouble finding luxurious meals on the dollar menu. Now I'd buy that for $1.
Been brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Your Northwest Dodge dealers. Grab life by the horns. Pacific Source. Discover the source. And by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. Well, there's Dennis Dixon with a big smile on his face after just a great day for him. 21-28. 3 touchdowns through the air. Anthony played great.
He played
again.
Very good football. But didn't turn the ball over. Played smart.
And I believe it's Justin Roper at quarterback right now for Oregon, number 11, as he hands it off. And folks will wonder, why Justin Roper and not Nate Costa? Well, the idea here is that Nate Costa, even though he really would be the third string quarterback if somebody got hurt, is that if he doesn't play, he can still redshirt.
Redshirt, yes.
So he would still be a sophomore next year competing for the starting job with Justin Roper and Cody Kemp.
Right.
So Justin Roper on the depth chart really has 4, but getting to play here in the game, his first action as an Oregon Duck, just because they don't want to waste that redshirt year in a mop-up situation like this for Nate Costa. Justin Roper's from Buford, Georgia. Tall young man, 6'6", throws a good ball.
Long ways from home.
Long ways from home. And there's Costa signaling in and learning the offense. And so he possibly, if he won the job next year, that means he will have been in third year of the program, will have had a red shirt and play a little bit.
And he's had some playing time. He understands the offense. And he's a tough quarterback. He has some running ability, not like Dennis Dixon, but I think he's a better runner than Brady Leaf is.
Short, Alston. I don't think he's going to get there. I think he's going to be just a little shy of the first down, depending on the spot. You got a favorable spot, Anthony. You might have it. It is a first down.
The first down.
They're already sending the punt team on.
The punt team
punt team's already on.
They gave the first down.
They have a punt on first down. And there goes the punt team back off. Well, at least the punt team was ready.
They were ready.
Fans get a little chuckle out of that. Well, that's good. It makes the offensive linemen run back and forth a little bit, get their numbers seen by the, I don't know, there's probably 30,000 folks left, maybe 25 to 30,000 folks left.
Well, they're going back to the motorhome. Going back to the motorhome and enjoy the victory.
Flag on the play, no play. A lot of scouts in town here today too, Anthony, getting a chance to see.
Number 47 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
See guys like Dennis Dixon, see what he's doing. And then also, you know, some of the good players on each side of the ball that might have a chance to play at the next level.
Well, you know, I think Alex Brink has a shot. I really do. I think he's a very good quarterback.
Matt Moore starting in the NFL this week, probably.
Yeah, well, yeah, if Matt Moore can play, then Alex Brink can play, because Alex, he understands the game. The problem with him is that he's a pocket passer, and so if he, the game's going to be so much faster at the next level. So those guys are coming, and those blitzes are coming. He's going to have to be able to get out of the way.
Roper uses a timeout. That was only because of the play clock. He didn't want to take the delay of game penalty, which happened because they sent the punt team out.
Right.
Looks like USC is going to escape their game against Arizona. They lead at 17-13 with about a minute to go and first and goal. So unless they turn it over, they likely will get out of that game, but not impressively.
No. At home, too.
Well, this is a better memory for Oregon to have in mind. Last time we saw Washington State here was in 2003 after that Michigan game, when all those crazy things happened in that game, all the turnovers and trick plays, and Oregon had come off being on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and it was just one of those wild days. You know, this had nothing to do other than just one team here today way better than the other team.
Well, yes, today the better football team showed up, not because of the plays that worked or because the better athletes, just a better team.
Let's run the option to the outside. Josh Thomas Dotson. Make it Barkley, who wears an 87. He's not even listed.
The same number as Josh.
I thought Josh Thomas, he plays linebacker. He's not going to get the ball.
That's why I was confused. I'm thinking Josh is the linebacker. They moved him over to the offense.
They're making it tough on us up here, Anthony. That's for sure. They're bringing out everybody. Alston again on the carry. 2:30 and ticking. Sounds of the game. They're still cracking it a little bit down there.
Well, that's what you want your Cougar defense to do, even though you're getting beat 53-7. Bill Doba wants his guys to still play hard. Shows what they're made out of, character and heart, because that carries over until next week.
And I wanted to give Daniel Barkley his proper introduction and reception. Ryan Keeling has the catch and bounces off for the first down. And Justin Roper has his first completion.
Gosh, a guy who's slow to get up. It's kind of scary the way he got up. Standing in the pocket. Nice job by Ryan Keeling. He's a big boy, big tight end. Not real fast, but he's a big one.
Well, Ryan Keeling has the distinction of being a two-sport athlete, if you will. He competed with the Oregon cheerleaders last spring.
He did.
How about that? I didn't know that. Renee Alston up the middle. Close to the first down yardage. I wanted to mention Daniel Barkley is from Sacramento, a redshirt freshman. Mostly in case his parents, Sean and Dennis Boyd, are listening, because you can't get out of it without having your first name announced too, right? You're not just Barkley.
That's right.
You're Daniel Barkley.
Well, Alston just had a nice run, and it's nice to see this young man do some positive things. Andre Pinshaw's playing in front of him, so he's trying to shine a little bit.
Under a minute. 53 points for Oregon, Anthony, the most they've ever scored against Washington State. Now the discussion will be about the Huskies and also Cameron Colvin and Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right there. The injuries that took place today with two key players, both on offense. No one on defense, but both on offense.
This will probably be the final play of the game as Alston is hit in the backfield and spins off one guy. He'll lose some yards there, and that'll be it. As Mike Bellotti makes his way across to Coach Doba, a tough day if you're a Cougar. This one was over about 20 minutes into the game. Oregon with a dominating win as they come across to shake hands with the Cougars. Again, there's a lot of commonality between these two teams. Cougars have been to the Rose Bowl. Ducks have been to the Rose Bowl. They've all done it when the Huskies weren't doing it, and they always will have that to share as Coach Bellotti looks for Coach Doba. And there's our State Farm player of the game, Dennis Dixon. Another outstanding performance as Oregon gets back on track. And what do you think? Dennis Dixon today just looked ready to go from the very start.
Yes, he did. He came out with the blaze, running the football, using his legs, being very confident. And he's a leader. He's a leader on the field and off the field. And the players are rallying behind Dennis Dixon, knowing that he can do some positive things on the field.
That touchdown on the ground, 5 of the 6 games now. He has a rushing touchdown, 21 of 28, 75%, 287, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. From an efficiency number, that rating is just going to be through the roof. And what an effective day for Dennis Dixon, and a big game on the road for him next week. So our State Farm player of the game, Dennis Dixon, as Oregon wins it by a final of 53-7. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
Oh, did I tell you what Barbara said to me?
No.
She told me I needed to shave my mustache.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, and like in front of everybody, like I don't have any feelings or something.
Her ears.
Yeah, I know she does. So I told her, you know what? I don't like your synthetic hair. It could catch fire and endanger the patients, okay? Look, she needs to quit with the... Oh, this is pretty good.
I love that Sierra Mist.
Just take this one. He don't want
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you
that's
know.
what she said to you?
Yeah, you know, so I gave her...
This group, come on!
It's not easy going it alone. That's why we're making it easier than ever to get a State Farm agent for car insurance. Call an agent's office 24/7. Stop by or go to statefarm.com to get an agent who's there for you. Online, on the phone, or in the office. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Nice is bigger than it looks. It's about more than manners or wide smiles or good karma. Nice is about respect, connecting, humanness, and understanding that we really are all in this thing together. At Oregon Community Credit Union, we're lucky. We get to choose how we do business, and for over 50 years, we've chosen nice. Remarkably nice.
This busy place is Comcast's Fiber Optics Center. Our digital network starts here, bringing Comcast services to your neighborhood. In your home, 100% digital cable with on-demand makes TV better than ever. You can surf the net faster using Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. And talk all you want with Comcast Digital Voice, featuring unlimited nationwide calling. Connect to the future. Get all three for just $33 each per month for 12 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
Hey, Vinny.
Oh, hi there, Miss Heaton.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of Albertson's Blue Ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Heaton.
35.
So Oregon ends it 53-7 on a beautiful fall afternoon here in Eugene. This is one of those days that makes you thankful to live in this part of the world. Beautiful October day. And a victory for the home team, and a definitive victory, Anthony.
Well, Oregon came out from the start. They played well on offense, played solid on defense, and the special teams, they did some special things. So it was a very good victory for the Oregon Ducks.
And a big one next week in Seattle. Make sure to join us. Oregon against Washington, against the Huskies. We'll find out all about Jeremiah Johnson and what's going on there, and the Duck will rest up. Hopefully the Ducks will be on board and healthy as they get ready to take on Washington. For our producer, director Tim Lang, Anthony Newman, and the rest of our great Oregon Sports Network crew, all the guys down in the truck, Katie next to me here. As always, Dana on the other side next to Anthony. Thanks so much for all your great work as well. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Oregon Sports Network. So long, everyone, from Eugene.
The University of Oregon Alumni Association, serving your university, serving you. You're already a dedicated Duck, so why join the U of O Alumni Association? Because we work solely to advance the goals of the university, such as providing scholarships.
Draft presided over by NBA Commissioner.
You'll have access to single-game football tickets ahead of the general public, because you get an
first round. Teams have 5 minutes in between selections. In the second round, you got to think a lot quicker. There are only 2 minutes in between each selection. Let's take a look at the Bulls, the team timeline. They were last in the NBA in shooting, only shot 43%. Jeff Van Gundy could do that with his eyes closed. On February 21st, they got Drew Gooden and Larry Hughes as part of the Ben Wallace trade, sending Ben to Cleveland. May 22nd, on a 1.7% chance, they won the NBA draft lottery. And on June 11th, Vinny Del Negro named head coach of the Chicago Bulls. Let's take a look at our Kia scouting report on the Bulls. This is their starters in 2007, 2008, and key reserves. They've got a bevy of guards already. How does Derrick Rose fit into this team?
Well, to me, they have some issues. When you talk about Derrick Rose, if you decide to take Derrick Rose with the #1 pick, then now what's your next move? When you talk about Ben Gordon, Kurt Heinrich, Larry Hughes, you have to find a way to move some of those guys to allow this young guy to prosper and set the tone in your locker room.
Well, I agree with you, and I don't think it's about Derrick Rose fitting in with the team. I think it's fitting the team around his special talents. And so, to me, like you said, Mark, they have to move some of their guards, get more front court help. They need some low post scoring, and they need to fortify their defensive intensity once again.
You know, Derrick Rose is better than anybody they got. And when you take him, you do have to make another move. But you anticipate that going in when you've got the #1 pick, that you may have to move somebody on your roster. But Derrick Rose, I think, in time, is going to bring everybody together on this team. I mean, last year, guy won 38 games. That's an NCAA. Played 1 year of college basketball, won 38 games. That's a record.
John Paxson, the GM of the Bulls, some of his draft day acquisitions, Luol Deng, Kirk Heinrich, Ben Gordon. Now, all of them good players, but nothing like you expect Derrick Rose to be. What kind of pressure is on Paxson that Derrick does turn out to be that kind of player?
There's pressure on every GM in the NBA to win, I think when you bring a point guard in like Derrick Rose, he's the guy you can really build around because he's going to make everybody in that franchise better. The problem is he's only 19 years old, so he's going to need a little bit of time to mature. You know, Jeff has talked about the leadership, but putting that on a 19-year-old kid, I mean, that's going to require some help from the other players and obviously the coaching staff. He's going to need some veteran leadership to help get him through it and blossom into the player that he can be.
Jeff, how long do you think it'll take Derrick Rose to feel comfortable within this team and that team system?
Well, I think a lot of that depends on how the other players on the team perceive him. Are they happy that he's there? Are they worried about their own minutes and their own shots? So to me, so much of it is, how do the people and the veteran players of the Bulls respond to Derrick Rose and mentor him to make him the best possible player he can be?
And I think if you're in the draft room right now for the Chicago Bulls, the question is, okay, what's the next move? Who do we move? You have to listen to all takers and see the interest around the league for guys like Heinrich, for a sign and trade with Gordon, for Larry Hughes. You have to find a low post presence to take all the pressure off of Rose to be spectacular.
John Paxson has already been adamant that, you know, if they take Rose, which they will, they have to move either Ben Gordon or Kirk Heinrich. Paxson's there. Vinny Del Negro is there. You know, before this, Vinny Del Negro was probably most famous for a single-digit handicap on the golf course and winning a national championship with North Carolina State under Coach Jimmy V. He was named the Bulls coach on June 11th. He's been a Suns assistant general manager and the Suns director of player personnel. A lot of people thought that his hiring was a complete shock around the league. What do you think is going to be the toughest part for him being the head coach of this team?
I think ultimately when you're a first-time coach in this league, the thing you have to do is capture your locker room. You have to send a message that things are going to be different around here, and it starts, and then you break down how we're going to make a difference. Just don't preach to them, but let them know how it's going to happen, and that's how you impact an organization and a team.
And for me, from a head coaching standpoint, it's about confidence, it's about sincerity, it's about reliability and trustworthiness, and that brings about a respect that's given to you. If you have all four of those things, you can capture your locker room and you can get them to believe in you.
And he's been there before. I mean, it's hard to predict. You can have a guy that has all this experience. He can go into a different locker room and not do well at all. And you can have a guy like Vinny Del Negro who's never had to do this as a head coach before, and he could be very successful. It's all going to depend on the credibility he establishes when he walks in there. I agree with Mark. The first time he walks in there and establishes credibility and accountability as a unit is going to be really important.
But I tell you what, I like the idea that they went outside the box.
All right, the Chicago Bulls. It is their first #1 overall pick since 1999. We think we know where they're going. Commissioner David Stern will tell us if we're correct.
With the first pick in the 2008 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Derrick Rose from the University of Memphis.
After a year away from home at Memphis, Derrick Rose is going back home to Chicago. He led his high school to 2 state championships when he was a prep star. His nickname, as we said before, is Pooh. Yeah, like Winnie the Pooh. His grandmother named him that after his obsession with sweets because, you know, Winnie the Pooh likes honey. I believe this is about as sweet as it can be. Here's the reaction in Chicago in their draft room when they finally made it public and decided it was going to be Derrick Rose. The 6'2", 196-pound guard out of Memphis. Jay, you've been high on this guy the entire time.
Well, first two, he's a winner. We talked about winning 38 games, getting the NCAA championship game last year, but he is not used to losing. And one of the, I thought, the really neat things about Derrick Rose last year is his coach, John Calipari, had to talk him into being more assertive. He was deferring to his older teammates. He's a world-class athlete, a prototype point guard in the NBA. He's got great strength, unbelievable in transition. I really like his ability to get into the lane, whether in half-court or full-court situation, absorb a bump, and creatively finish with strength and athleticism. I mean, he can just get up and finish. He can dunk with his elbows when they throw him a lob. I think he's the real thing. He's not a consistent shooter, Jeff, but I think he's going to get that because his shot mechanics are good, and he's such a great athlete.
And I think as importantly, Jay, is that he establishes some ball pressure defensively. When you're able to cut off penetration, you set the entire tone for the entire team. So to me, it's not just about his offense. It's about the ability to contain dribble penetration.
Well, to me, it's about a tough kid. When you talk about the Chicago Bulls, you watch him last year. This was a fragile team mentally. Here's a guy with his bounce and his swagger. He's going to send a message during tough times. I'm going to put you on your back. Just follow my lead, guys.
Well, his teammates followed his lead when he was in high school. Back in March of 2006, the Illinois Class 2A state title game, Simeon Career Academy against Peoria Richwoods. Derrick Rose got the game-winning steal and the jumper in overtime to lead Simeon Career Academy to the Illinois Class AA state title. Now, he's just a #1 pick, hanging out with Stephen A. Smith.
Thanks a lot, Stu. Derrick Rose, Chicago native. Now you're playing for the Chicago Bulls in the house that Michael Jordan built. What are you feeling right now?
It feels great knowing I'm in his presence. I'm not even near him. I'm not even near him now, but it feels great to play back at home.
I want to know what you're going to do about the Chicago Bulls. You're the man right now. You're the #1 overall pick. There's a team that averaged 97 points a game, 18th in the league last year in offense. What is Derrick Rose going to bring to the table for the Chicago Bulls?
Some more leadership, because of course I got to lead the team and stay focused and hopefully just get a couple more wins.
Plain and simple. Derrick Rose, #1 overall pick in the draft. So Doris Burke with your mom.
Yes, Stephen, I've got Brenda. And Brenda, you and Derek's 3 brothers, Reggie, Allen, and Dwayne, have kept very close watch on his career as he's progressed to this, his dream come true. What is this moment like for your family?
I'm very happy for him that his dream has came true for him.
Leading up to this draft, there has been speculation that he would go to Chicago. There's been articles written, pros and cons, about somebody dealing with the pressures of playing in front of their hometown fans. From a mom's perspective, what are your thoughts there?
I don't think that he will have that much pressure because he's used to playing in Chicago. That's the only place where he knows how to play.
And he's nice and close, so you can keep a close eye on him. Congratulations, Stu.
Thanks a lot, Doris. The highest player ever selected by Memphis before this was Penny Hardaway in 1993. The Miami Heat, they are now on the clock. And remember, it was just 2 years ago from this night that the Heat were the NBA champions. A lot happened since then. This past season, they had the worst record in the NBA at 15-67. What are they going to do with their pick? There's been a lot of discussion. Will it be Michael Beasley? Will it be O.J. Mayo? Only one person knows for sure. His name is David Stern. And as he comes to the podium, we got to understand this. The Heat flew in O.J. Mayo to Miami on Tuesday. And this is when they all thought that Beasley was the supposed pick. So that's the thing that ended up raising a whole lot of questions. Here's the commissioner now with the pick.
With the second pick in the 2008 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Michael Beasley from Kansas State University.
You know, throughout all this debate, will it be Beasley, will it be Mayo, Mark Jackson said, if I got the second pick, I pick Michael Beasley and I take my phone off the hook. The Heat now, their first lottery pick since 2003. And this means that freshmen have now gone 1-2 in the NBA draft for the second straight year. And it's also the only 2 times in NBA history this has happened. Beasley, a unanimous first-team All-American, Big 12 Player of the Year, 26 points per game, 12 rebounds per game. Jay Billis, saying this guy is a beast is a bit of an understatement, isn't it?
There's no question. I mean, you mentioned it with the numbers. Productivity and efficiency absolutely off the charts. There's nobody else in this draft or the last several drafts that has been close to what Michael Beasley's able to put up night after night, and he does it consistently. And people talk about the fact that he didn't measure out to be 6'10", but you know, he's got arms that extend beyond normal human limits. He's got a wingspan of over 7 feet, and he's very bouncy. He's got great feet, second jump ability, an outstanding rebounder. He's got just a great feel for scoring, and he knows how to operate in a crowd. I mean, he can score in traffic. He can rebound in traffic. He's got great strength. And he's got a terrific demeanor on the floor, great aptitude. And I think he's really a competitor. You know, people can talk about the fact that he's not a great defender, that he doesn't put everything he has into defense, but I think he's a pretty darn good defender, especially when he puts his mind to it. But where he's special, Jeff and Mark, is on the offensive end. He's a big-time natural scorer, and you just can't teach him.
And for me, that's what Miami needs desperately. So I think with Wade back, Sean Marion, and now adding Beasley, they're going to be very, very hard to guard.
Oh, it's an incredible talent. This guy can flat out score, and he gives another weapon alongside of Wade.
He also has an incredible family. Doris Burke is with someone in his family now. Doris, what's the big decision his family made before he went to Kansas State?
Well, I've got Fatima Smith. She raised 5 children, Stu, all by herself. Michael is the second oldest of those 5, and Fatima, obviously very emotional moment for you, but what is it like for a mom to watch her son be the second overall selection in the NBA draft?
I mean, there's no words that would have prepared me for this. I thought I would have had all the answers for you when you came back, but when you work so hard with the team that we have to put him in this position and see the outcome, it's just unimaginable. Words cannot describe it.
Congratulations, Stephen A. Michael, your mom is very, very happy and proud.
She has a reason to be, big man. Congratulations. I'm wondering, with all the speculation coming into this draft, were you concerned, were you scared that you wasn't going to end up being picked by the Miami Heat?
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen in a draft, you know. I think past year showed that, and just to be here right now just made me a whole lot happier.
All right, give it to me, and I want specifics. They were 15 and 67 last year. This team struggled in every category imaginable. What is the city of Miami getting from Michael Beasley next season?
You're getting a great player, a hard worker, a good rebounder, you know. Just a fun-loving guy off the court, you know. I think every team needs that.
Right. Wayne Wade's looking forward to it. Stu, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Stephen A. You saw Michael Beasley and Derrick Rose in our promos when, you know, they're messed up a couple of times. Hopefully they won't mess up on the court. Let's go back to Derrick Rose. In Chicago, the Bulls take Rose #1 overall. Our David Amber is standing by now with Bulls GM John Paxson. David?
John, break it down. Why Derrick Rose?
Well, for us right now, it's a perfect fit. He's a very, very talented young man, and you know, in this league, point guards are really hard to find, and he's got a strength about him at that position that most guards don't have in this league at that position. Great burst, very fast with the ball. I think he's going to make other players better, and I think he'll give us some leadership abilities as he goes on that we really need. So for us, it was the right pick.
You said the pick was made recently. What does this do to your roster? What are you going to have to do now?
Well, I know everybody says we have a glut of guards, but we also have some issues, you know, with some things coming up. But, you know, Derrick is going to he's not a guy that we're going to look at and say, you know, come in right away and here. He'll earn that if given the chance, which he'll get. But, you know, we're not going to throw him into this thing saying, here, you got to do everything right now. So, you know, we'll give him time. We'll be a little bit cautious right now. We'll figure out a roster as we go.
John Paxson, you won 3 titles with the Bulls, hoping Derrick Rose can bring some of that magic back to the Windy City. Stu, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dave. The Chicago Bulls lost 49 games this past season. The Miami Heat had the worst record in the league. Right now on the clock, the Minnesota Timberwolves, who picked 3rd. Minnesota, their 22 wins is their fewest since the 94-95 season. Not so coincidentally, that was the first season without Kevin Garnett.
With the 3rd pick in the 2008 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select O.J. Mayo from the University of Southern California.
We know him as O.J. Mayo. His full name is Ovinton J. Anthony Mayo. For the first time ever, freshmen have gone 1-2-3 in the NBA draft as the guy who averaged 20 points per game for USC this past season, first team All Pac-10, goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jay Billis, you said that out of all the guys in the draft, he is the most NBA ready right now. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think he's ready to step into the league and play right away, more so than any other guard in this draft. He's almost 21 years old. He's been groomed for this his entire life. And the thing I like best about O.J. Mayo is this young man steps on the floor to compete. He wants to be a basketball player, and he wants to be a great basketball player, and he works at it. And what really impressed me, I was a little skeptical of Mayo when I saw him in high school. I wasn't sure he was a great teammate, and he seemed like a little bit of a prepackaged guy, but I turned around on that pretty quick. He was a really good teammate last year at Southern Cal, and he gets down and he guards people. I mean, I saw him at Arizona shut down a terrific player in Jared Bayless, who's going to be drafted pretty soon after this. Good in transition. He can shoot it. Good in the mid-range. One of the things, I think he can play some point. I don't think he's a natural point, but he's a good passer. He's got the complete package, and I think he's going to be a really good NBA player.
And I agree, and I think he was very well coached by Tim Floyd, so he's got a tenacity.